肩の荷は下りないこびりつく地層のようにライト感ヘビーかい中そんな問いもなきものに対岸の価値なのにその身を削るほど姑息なる喫煙者の思い込みディセピいっそ彼を伝え枝分かれ無重力状態いつか訪れ特別な瞬間浮遊してもまだ I gotta say むき出す愛とへと駆け出す二頭へと孤独を悟る隙間は痛いけど何回だって知ったって何回だって立ち上がって上昇して落ちる速度には神をただ任せてるんだぜ
What is up, lads? Night 4, Muv-Luv Alternative. Strap in, strap on, sit along for the ride. It's beta fighting time. Last night we had probably the most interesting story portion of the entirety of any of the 3 games so far. As you guys know, I was happy with last night. Love the monologue, love how the narrative is starting to form, love to see how that extra stuff is coming back, and it seems like it's going to be paying off pretty well. So I had the pleasure of talking with one of the fellow viewers, and just in case I am playing a very old version, I will shut off the stream at a certain text box. Not tonight, this will probably be in the future, I think around chapter 9, as he was telling me that one of the most graphic scenes in VN history will actually take place in Chapter 9. So, I figure that'll be my big, you know, YouTube and Twitch vac ban, or whatever you call it. And I don't want that to happen, so I'm good on that, so don't expect that black box to be coming up until that text box, and obviously I'll allude to it, like, hey, I'm going to kind of shut down the stream now because you guys probably don't want to see this. Yeah, on top of that, we left off last night with the Return Home arc, and as the same person who I was talking to was telling me, once we hit December 5th, things really start heating up. So, we are about to find out what Kasumi's power was. I really left us off last night at an absolute tease. So, here's hoping that we can continue off tomorrow's, or yesterday's high note. And there's been a little bit of pacing issues so far, in terms of I just think that the opening was very slow. But it's just now, you know, now we're getting into the nitty gritty, especially apparently when we hit December 5th. And hopefully we can go ahead and continue off of last night's high and keep going and getting that hype, you know, that hype chart keep going up on the incline. So like I said yesterday, she's gonna tell us right now. She has to tell us sooner or later what the deal with Kasumi is. Kasumi's powers. No music kind of scares me. Yashiro plays an integral role in this experiment and in the completion of Alternative 4 on the whole. In what way? Sensei? It's just easiest to tell you and get it over with then. What is that even supposed to mean? Keep quiet, listen carefully. The Alternative program was initially founded as a research institution for establishing communication with the Beta. Ah. Yeah, this sounds like a great idea. Let's send a peace deal to aliens that eat people. Alternative 1 began in 1966 when a committee was assembled for the purposes of intelligence gathering and established peaceful negotiations on top of other things. Beta speak? So zoologists, linguists, mathematicians, and cryptographers from intelligence agencies all over the world are brought together, all in an attempt to decipher what the Beta's language. They wanted to communicate with those things? It is very likely that the Beta came from beyond our own solar system. If nothing else, we know that they have the technology for interstellar travel. Which would also mean that we're dealing with highly intelligent life forms. Why wouldn't we want to know what their intentions were? So, what happened to Alternative 1? It failed. They just couldn't figure it out? That would be correct. They couldn't even establish that the Beta even had a language, let alone decipher it. The project hit a dead end and was ultimately scrapped in the end. What the hell is that? What is that? What is that? It was quick. I mean, we've never seen Beta now that I think about it, but God, if that's what they look like, they don't look like the friendliest of creatures. Yeah, it's a squid with spider eyes with a thing on its back. It just looks like a parasite. It was quickly succeeded by Alternative 2 in 1968. This plan was to capture Beta, study the physiology, and then make direct contact with them. How did they do that? Countless autopsies and tissue analyses were performed on their bodies in an attempt to learn how they function. Our researchers did everything they could come to think of. And what did they learn? What they found were that all living things are uniquely equipped with biological characteristics that allow them to survive in a specific environment. That principle, though, doesn't apply to Beta. Beta adaptability is so far above any other organism that they've even managed to thrive in such hostile environments like Mars or the Moon. To go even further, all the Beta species we've confirmed so far we haven't even been able to identify a single biological What? We've also yet to find any semblance of a digestive system or then how do they form? I don't think it's bad, so to speak. I just think this is a losing battle. The fact that a highly advanced, biologically diverse society was positioned to invade the Earth at any given moment was enough to send a chill down. Yeah, of course. Of course that's enough to send a chill down someone's spine. Even with an astronomical budget and after enormous research sacrifices, all the researchers managed to learn was that the Beta were carbon-based. That's it? In 1973, the program launched into its third iteration when the Beta landed on Earth. What in the hell? What is this Earthbound? It was a plan that took shape out of desperation. The premise was that they had to do some form of cognitive thought since they had formed a society and they were taking organized action. Desperation? Oh, sick. Yeah, the Soviet Academy of Sciences had been conducting research on genetically engineering humans, ESP. Nice. In the hopes that they can manufacture human beings with the ability to read what betas are thinking. That is known as Alternative 3. That just sounds... That's as Soviet onion as it gets. Genetically engineered ESP? What kind of mental gymnastics are these people playing? Since we couldn't talk to them or learn anything by way of autopsy, we just would decide on reading their minds instead. Like telepathy? I don't know what you're envisioning here, but what I'm describing is basically the ability to see someone else's thoughts as images and their emotions as colors. So, oh, Kasumi has ESP. That's why she has the colored pencils, 100%. Watch, I'm 500 IQ right now. So then, it's not the kind where you can communicate back and forth without speaking. I wish it were that simple, but no. It's up to the people with ESP to translate the images and colors into words. Want to go back on topic? Yeah. It was originally being developed by the Soviets as a part of a governmental research project. ESPers, I'm assuming. Espers? They'd been having a select group of espers repeatedly intermarry over the course of several generations in an attempt to produce children with even more potent psychic abilities? What? What is going on? Yes, inbreeding. Why is she looking at Kasumi? Oh, come on, dude. You haven't been able to figure it out? For the purposes of Alternative 3, they handpicked only the best mind readers among them. And what, they all had kids? What, do they have time to waste? She keeps looking over at Kasumi. Oh, artificial insemination. Let's make this even more dystopic. They mass produce via artificial insemination, and they use genetic engineering to enhance their abilities. This is... You're kidding. Doesn't sound like it. You don't mean... Okay, this isn't really a plot twist. I've been kind of calling this for a little bit now. Our very own Yashiro Kasumi is created that way. Back to the best song in the game. Gestated in an artificial womb, she never even knew the comfort of a mom. And that's the simple fact. Are you kidding? That's just straight up human experimentation. She just hit him with the yes. Yeah, that's right. Well, what? We're gonna have a debate on ethics when we're on the brink of extinction? I mean, I get that, but... It's a plan of desperation. Kasumi, she's a product of genetic engineering? No, it can't be. That's absurd. Yashiro was among the 6th generation of subjects, the last and most highly attuned batch to be produced. God, this song. This is gonna be like my new VN theme, and she was the best of the entire bunch. Her mental capabilities are far beyond that of generational peers. So that's how she did it. So back when she drew that game, guys, she read it from my memories, and that's how she also was able to emulate Sumika. Yeah, it's starting to go from the little cutesy thing to human experimentation. The main downside of this mind reading ability is that you need to be within a certain radius from the target. Oh, so that's why she keeps the active beta base beneath them. Figure it out, Takaru. Figure it out. Connect the dots. What is, once again, look at this peak Soviet onion. As such, a large number of these children were sent to accompany children were sent to accompany infiltration squads to the various beta hives. The hope would be that they'd be able to go and read the beta thoughts. Yeah, what's the survival rate? 5? Kasumi was then sent into combat? Oh, 6%. Yep. Yeah, that Alternative 3 went well. Yeah, of the S% on those missions, the 6% survive. Out of how many people? Luckily, or perhaps unluckily, I suppose, the project advanced to its 4th iteration before Yashiro was deployed. So even after that, Alternative 3 didn't mean anything. Alternative 3 did achieve results in the sense that the readings were successful. They were also able to prove that the beta do indeed have cognitive thought. Wow. So what are they thinking? It's starting to shift. Oh man, paradigm shift. The one thing we can't say, or could say for sure, is just that the beta don't see humanity as life. What? What? They don't consider us to be alive? What does that even mean? Yeah, after 3 failed, or I guess 2 generations of failed eugenics, and they're gonna try a 4th. Your guess is as good as mine. There's another ability that we call projection, and it goes hand in hand with mind reading. Projection? It's the ability to convert your own thoughts and emotions into images and colors, respectively, and then project them into somebody else. As the Espers conducted their readings, we also had them repeatedly trying to send the definition of peace to Beta, but it didn't. Can you? Where are the tactics in this? Alright, hello 5-year-old kid, you may be a schizophrenic that can hear voices. You're gonna go up to this dude over here in a big robot, we're gonna send you to the middle of the hive, we're gonna throw you in the middle of it, but just think about the word peace really hard and I'm sure you will not be attacked. What is this bees against the chainsaw strategy? So either the beta have no concept of peace or they're ignoring us because they don't perceive us as being alive. I mean, either one is... basically, this war's never going to end. Yeah, exactly. Peace was never an option. Yeah, what a good idea. We're going to go have, like, any world conflict. We're just going to go drop a witch doctor in the middle of it and hope he could brew a potion that will have peace. So even after exhausting every last trick in the book, there was a sum total of what we were able to learn, which was just that they don't like peace. So I worked on my theory in 1988, and in 1991 I went to the university and they offered me a position. In 1994, the UN approached me. Year after, the UN approached her. Okay. So after gathering the remnants of Alternative 3, we would start on Alternative 4 in 1995. So it's been 6 years. So Yashiro, the product of Alternative 3, has ended up here. We're finally up to 4. But what makes Kasumi important to 4? What would they need a genetically modified ESPer for? Alternative's 4 main objective would be the completion of the Unit 00. Is Unit 00? She's mentioned that a few times now. She looks happy. Could that be the secret weapon we need to defeat the beta? Hearing about all of our failures so far isn't exactly reassuring, so is this one really going to be different? Enough about that, though. Huh? What? You can't just stop. We were getting to the most important part. It's not like I never said I'd tell you everything, but that's, Do you know how much highly classified information I just told you? You should feel lucky to know that, even know this much about a top secret project. So you're saying after all that we haven't made any progress? Is that not disheartening? Reality's harsh, I'm afraid. But if we can finish the 00 unit, we could beat them then, right? That'd be the plan. So what kind of device is Unit 00? Like some kind of robot? Like something like that? You've been talking about parallel computing devices and stuff now. From what I've told you so far, you won't be able to guess. Don't even waste your time. Why do you keep dodging my questions about it? If it's got something to do with the brain, right? If Kasumi plays an integral role, there's no way that it wouldn't. Sensei. You know, maybe you would make a wonderful scientist. Where did that even come from? You only seek to satisfy your own curiosity without the slightest regard for how it might make others feel. What? No, I don't. What does that even matter? I mean, Kasumi's still Kasumi. Her past is... What if she wasn't talking about Kasumi? Uh-oh, monkeys. Besides, wouldn't dancing around the issue only make her feel like it was something to be ashamed of? You can convince me all you like, but you'll never be able to fool Yashiro. But you're wrong. I just want to save the world, so therefore I'll make Alternative 4 succeed. ASAP. Thinking about Kasumi's upbringing, a genetically modified Esper from an artificial womb, there are many times when I felt like she was able to read my mind, not to mention the times that she'd be able to emulate Sumika. She's had this power of mind reading and projection that would explain everything. The game guy picture, she could just pull it straight out of my head. And since she reads thoughts in forms of images, she has that sketchbook with her always to record them. When you first came here, huh? She proved to me you weren't delusional. Oh, sorry. It wasn't that I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, but that I trusted Yashiro. At the very least, I verified... Oh, here we go, a little bit of flashback. And I would imagine that would be why she trusted you in the previous timeline as well. So that's why. I was only allowed to stay here because Kasumi vouched for me. I mean, it makes sense, honestly. Who in their right mind would tell a story like mine or take a story like mine at face value? But Kasumi was able to prove that I wasn't just a crazy person or some kind of like spy/saboteur. And thanks to God-given abilities, or I guess in that case, science-given abilities. Does she want me to know about those powers? Does she want anyone to know? They're what makes her so indispensable to both this experiment and Alt 4. These are things I never had a reason to know, but what Sensei's decided to tell me now, that I've become so deeply involved. I highly doubt Kasumi would have ever have told me this herself. Espers have powerful mental capabilities that the average human can't even hold a candle to. And Yashiro in particular can remain focused on a single mental image for extended periods of time. Without her, this experiment would be impossible. If she were to lose track of you in her mind, you might not ever be able to come back to this world. Her ability to retain an image of you is your only safety net. But maintaining that image requires an exuberant amount of mental stamina. I see. That's why you two live together. We need to strengthen your mental bond. The more attached you are to each other, the more reliable the safety net gets, which equals reducing the mental strain and extending the amount of time you could spend over there. So she did have a reason for us moving in. And if today's results are any indication, my plan is working wonders. How could you say that? It's having a huge toll on her. Right, but now she could last for several hours as opposed to mere seconds. Is that really what's important here? Of course it is. We need this experiment to produce results. It would be even more unfair to her if we came up empty-handed just because we didn't want to push her too hard. Right, because if I'd failed, her pain would be for nothing. Take a look at those drawings on the floor, huh? Pages of torn-out sketchbook paper are strewn across the floor, each featuring an equally unimpressive doodle as the one from yesterday. This is you. What? Seriously? She can project an image into another person's mind, but apparently not a piece of paper. They're pretty cute though, aren't they? This is her process. It's the most effective way she knows how to not lose track of a mental image. But as for me, I'm able to recover my memories of you via a special system that backs up Yashiro's mental images. Yeah, I guess that picture she took of me on the slide wouldn't be enough for that. But that system can only work because Yashiro can perceive you in real time. There's no backup for her. She spends the entire experiment trying not to forget you. And this is what she does to avoid losing sight of you. She creates records of your existence through symbolized imagery. She frantically draws and redraws her mental image of you as for the duration of the experiment so that you don't exist. So she doesn't forget you exist. So that's what was going on. Thank you for everything, Kasumi. Huh? Hey, Kasumi. When did you wake up? Hey, wait! I guess I'll hear the rest of your report later. What? Don't tell me you're that dense. She's born in a test tube, but she's still a girl. It'll be 3 real-time days before we can go back. Take tomorrow off. You're free to use that however you see fit. Dismissed. Yes, ma'am. Hey, there you are. What? As soon as we made eye contact, she ran away. Hey, wait! Why are you running away from me? Wait, stop! Stop the elevator! Come on, what are you running away for? Why are these elevators so slow? Not here either. Oh, it's Takaru. Hey, did you see Kasumi? What's got you in such a hurry? What's going on with Yashiro? Just answer the question. Is she here or not? What, somebody get dumped? Don't start. Maybe she's getting her next meal? No, she wasn't there. Well, that settles it. Settles what? She fell out of love with you. Could you guys please stop? You didn't do anything terrible to her, did you? Oh. I think the terrible things to her have already been done. While it certainly is none of my business, your silence isn't reassuring. Was it worth it? Quit. Hang on. I didn't do anything. I really didn't. I swear I just found something out. It just happens to be something that she doesn't want me to know. So what's going on? I take none of you guys have seen her then? Is she missing? Yes. Have you seen her? No, UK? No. Where did she run to? It does feel kind of lonely without her here. To be sure. Yeah, she is fun to be around. Yeah. And can be surprisingly assertive. I'm not going to ask what happened, but do something about it. You look like you have something to say. Well, I just find it kind of funny, because, you know, every time she is here, you guys just shoot glances at her. What a way to make us sound petty. I don't know how these guys feel about Kasumi, but Kasumi does. Shouldn't you continue the search? Yeah, get going. Hurry. Win her back. Ugh, dang it, you guys. Okay, not here. Mr. Bun's right where she left it. She hasn't come back to the room at all. I kind of figured she couldn't sleep without this thing. She uses it like a security blanket. Look, Mr. Bun, let me level with you. I know I said some mean stuff to you in the past, and I do apologize. But I need you to do me a solid and tell me where Kasumi is. This sucks. Knowing her, she'd probably be able to tell when I was getting close, so I'd never be able to catch her. She never loses track of a mental image after all. Come back, I'm not mad, I'm not mad. Well, not that I have any reason to be. Come on, please, just come back. I need to ask you something. You know about Sumika, don't you? It's not a coincidence that I keep seeing Sumika in the way you do, is it? I remembered everything about the two of us today. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but as soon as I saw her, memories came flooding back. But the thing is, until I got back there, I'd completely forgotten those memories were even there. I know espers can read people's thoughts as images, but shouldn't you also be able to read something I'm not even consciously aware of? Oh, the bunny does have Sumika's colors. We're really done some high IQ stuff tonight. So how did you know things about Sumika? If you could access memories I've forgotten, if that's something you're capable of, I need you, there's so much I'd like you to tell me. I want to know what happened back in my world. What happened in my previous time. You know what would be crazy? It would be crazy if, because he talked to Sumika in his return home, if the timeline had like a huge butterfly effect and like the world is just gone. When we go back in 3 days, could you imagine? That would be absurd. I know there must be so many important things that I'm forgetting. I just don't understand. Why does thinking about you bring memories back of Sumika? Why do you remind me of her? Are you projecting images of her onto myself? I really can't imagine it's all a coincidence, or even that I'm overthinking things. Please, Kasumi. December 3rd, we're 2 days away. Kasumi, you came back? Thank you. Thank you for coming back. Your thoughts reached me. Oh, I'm glad. But I was scared. No, I'll bet. And I don't like being scared. I know. Could you see what I'm thinking right now? Welcome home. Yeah, cool. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, and it's going to happen sooner or later. But we don't need to rush things. I'm sorry. Don't be. I'm the one who owes you the apology. I'm sorry. I know. I guess you would. Well, thank you. You're welcome. So where did you go yesterday? All over. You don't say. I bet you're good at hide and seek, huh? Hide and seek? You know, like that game where everyone hides, you have to keep your eyes closed, you try to track them down? Never heard of it. Right, of course you wouldn't. You can't play hide and seek if you're alone. Way to go again, me. Point is, you'd be great at it. I couldn't find you anywhere. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's okay. Are you hungry? It's almost lunchtime. I slept that long? She's right. After all that running around, I must have just conked out when I got back to my room. That could have been bad. Thank God I'm on a special mission today, or else I would have been chewed out. Actually, could this exhaustion be a side effect of the experiment? It is. Oh, alright. I guess it does tucker us out, huh? Well, you especially. Yeah. That was probably the best sleep I've gotten in years. Hard to believe it's already midday, though. Have you eaten yet? Not yet. Alright, let's go take care of that first. You want some breakfast? Yeah, sweet. Place sure is dead. Well, we're the only one taking the day off. Oh, good point. You know what? I got the trays today. What? Why the long face? I'll only be gone for a minute. Kasumi? Why are you being so kind? Come on, you make it sound like I'm usually a jerk. Silence. It'll just be for today, okay? Come on, don't look so sad about it. Hey, listen. I know, I can't believe that. Okay. When you think you've hurt someone, it's only natural to want to make up with them. Although, I might not be doing such a great job at it so far. I don't understand. Well, people can be tough to understand sometimes, but don't worry, I'll be back before my usual self before long. Maybe you think I'm making like a big deal out of nothing, but this is the only way I know how to show that I'm sorry. Okay. It may seem weird, but I hope you'll humor me anyway. I just want to show you that I feel bad about what happened, alright? Oh, I still don't understand. Well, don't worry about it then. I'll go get us our food, so take a seat. Okay. It's just the usual synthetic miso mackerel, but hey, it's edible. Thanks for the meal. Could you stop doing that? You can eat your own food, right? You don't like it? No, it's not that. It's just you shouldn't feel like it's an obligation. I don't know what Kasumi's trying to convey to me by doing this, but it's just one more thing that makes me think that Sumika and Kasumi are connected further. She's not actually her. I mean, she's her own person. And while there is no proof that my memories with Sumika ever actually happened, I can kind of tell that I probably love her. Aww. Spoiler alert, Sumika is Kasumi's mom. It wouldn't be right for me to accept the same treatment from Kasumi. Now go on, eat up before it gets cold.
Oh yeah, Kasumi-chan.
Well, if it isn't Kasumi, could you imagine? Oh hey there, Miss Kyozuka.
なんだ、2つもトレイ持ってったと思ったら、1つはかすみちゃんの分かい。
I was wondering what the 2 plates of food were, so one of them was for Kasumi, huh? Well, of course, even I can't eat 2 meals in one sitting.
最近よく2人でいるらしいじゃないか。何かあったのかい？
You all have been hanging around each other for an awful lot. Something going on? Oh, I do not like that grin.
そりゃあんた、年頃の男女がいつも2人でいりゃ、ね。
Well, when a guy and a gal, you know, start spending all their time together, you know.
ま、いっつも優子ちゃんと一緒なのが奇妙だったのさ。親子じゃあるまいしさ。
I guess it was a little strange after seeing her always tied to Yuko at the hip. Not like they're family.
親子じゃありません。
Not like we're family.
これが本来あるべき姿ってことだよね。
So how about you started hanging around folks your own age? So what's going on? Are you on a different schedule than the rest of the squad? Yeah, it's been that way for a while now. I just have the day off today.
あ、そう。休みなのかい。何か予定はないのかい。
Well,
まさか彼女連れで自主訓練もないだろうに。
that must be nice having a day off. What you got planned? You gonna drag your little lady friend to some private session? I already told you.
今日は久しぶりに暖かいよ。散歩したり、屋上に上がって景色眺めるのもいいかもしれないね。
We haven't had a day this perfect in a long while. Perfect day for a stroll. Go up on the rooftop, get a load of the view. View, huh?
さあね、頑張るんだよ。
We'll all be going now. Have fun. What's with her? Anyway, what do you want to do? Go outside?
どうする？
You want me to decide? Yeah, you want to go for a walk? Come to think of it, Kasumi was almost always underground, too. Cooped up with a brain. So she must have been... Whose brain is that? Unless it could be brain from a beta that they maybe got in a test tube. Because now that we know that she has ESP, obviously what she was doing was just staring at the brain trying to get readings off of it. So... It's either someone's brain and she's trying to see the past, or it's a beta and she's trying to see what's going on inside their noggins. Not as far as I can remember. You know, considering her background and involvement in Alt 4, she might never have the chance to do something as mundane as even going for a walk. Even the familiar scenery outside this building might be brand new. As long as we stick to this general area, I could probably give her a tour. Alright, let's get it done.
デート？
Why would... Okay. Alright, that's an interesting theory. Why would they want to be studying Sumika's brain, though? I know she's read my mind, but it's a huge leap in logic. Yeah, something like a date. I know. Since we've got all this free time, want to play Cat's Cradle?
あやとり？
Cat's Cradle? I promised to teach you how to do it long ago. It was in the previous timeline. I'm not sure when I'd actually told you. When I asked you what kind of game you'd like to try, you said Cat Cradle might be fun. But you kept getting busier and busier, so we never did have the chance. You go left after Alternative 5 was put into motion, but Kasumi stayed. I did sneak down to B19 and talk to her every once in a while, but at that point, I completely forgot about the promise.
あやとり。
Cat's Cradle. Yep, we'll go find some strings, so we'll get started. Okay? Well, Miss Kyozuka was right. It's nice outside. What's wrong? You never been on a roof?
はい。
No. Well, gotcha. Well, of all the places we can freely go, this is as high as it gets. Though, for me personally, I'm all about that view where that tree is on that hill over there. We could head up later and I could show you. Here's your string. For Cat's Cradle. Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. All we know is that in Operation Lucifer, the American-led UN found this brain inside of an X hive. And, we don't know whose it was, but it was in 1999, meaning that I guess your theory could hold up because Sumika was obviously born. We were looked at with Miss Kyozuka having some string on hand. I totally forgot what everyone else was in the middle of training. Alright, let's get started, though I'm gotta warn you, I'm not an expert at this. Watch, so you move this part here, hold yours up. Come on, don't start zoning out on me. Try to follow along. Okay, what I do here, move this part here. Alright, next. Perfect, and then... Yeah, you got it. Now, this part's still going to be a little tricky, though, okay? Watch carefully. You do this, goes like this, ta-da. Huh? Well, you see, sometimes it doesn't work no matter what. Weird. I thought I did all the steps right. Okay, try this again. First, wrap your thumb and forefinger, put it with the middle finger. Yeah, I get a feeling you'd be a little bit of a klutz. You can't pull off these steps when I show you them, huh? Oh, and by the way, last time we all did this, I was the worst in the entire squad. Good, so keep holding it like that. Man, your hands are so small. Maybe I should have cut the string shorter. Sorry about that. Her small, fair hands and delicate fingers make a striking contrast with the bright red string. If she could actually finish a shape, it would almost look like a work of art. Great, perfect. Moving on. Hey, what did I tell you about zoning out? Get fingers moving. Oh, man, you suck. Uh-oh, is somebody a little frustrated? Alright, come on, try a different one. That's it, take your time. You're getting better already.
Hi.
Hey, quick question. You slept somewhere else last night. Did you get enough rest?
Hi. 大丈夫です.
Yeah, I'm good. Don't push yourself, okay? I know those experiments really do take their toll on you. But do try and try to hang in there a little longer. All we have to do now is go back for those equations. In Extra, there's a scene that's comedic in which Sumika says that she's gonna meet an alien one day. That's the only thing. Foreshadowing that I'm thinking of that would imply that she could read minds. No, but there is foreshadowing that she says she's gonna go brain dead. She says that all the time. Yuko hits her with the car. No, not that I remember. I don't think there's any foreshadowing there. And when I go back, you'll never have to do it again.
Hi.
Yes. You're the only one who could do this, Kasumi. We're counting on you. Well, I screwed up again.
センスないです.
You suck. What? Ah. And you say I suck. Huh.
センスない
Yeah,
です.
you suck. Hey, pipe down. What gives? You're supposed to put this right here, then here.
ここからどうするんですか?
What about after this? Hang on a sec. I'm pretty sure you twist it like this. That's it. Perfect. Getting the hang of it. Put that here. Pull it out. Hey, not bad. What do you think? Pretty cool, huh? So you're at a loss for words, huh?
Hi.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it again. Try doing it all on your own this time. Don't get me puppy dog, guys. What's wrong? Oh, you don't want to undo it. Is it that? Don't worry. You could always make it again. I don't know. You tell me. Do you remember anything that would kind of say that? Once you can do it on your own, you'll be able to make all sorts of shapes. So let's practice some more.
Hi.
Okay. Oh, this is a famous scene. Oh yeah, no, of course. No worries though. You still alive? Oh, you're already out of breath, climbing a tiny hill? You must not work out a lot. You know what happens to kids who never exercise? They get chubby. I'm gonna picture you in my head as a big old piggy. Tell me how I do. We'll keep her height the same, 3 times wider. Ah. Hey, what's up? I thought you were out of breath.
してません.
I'm not now. Hey, don't try and hold it in. I'm not. No, really, you're gonna hurt yourself. You're not gonna get into shape just by holding your breath, you know. Whatever. Hey, that's the ocean over there. Huh? Remember when I gave you that seashell? You said you've never been to the sea, right? We can't hear the waves from here. There's not much of a beach. It's technically the ocean.
あれが本当の海.
That's the ocean? Yeah, that's where seashells came from. I'd really like to take you out there sometime. But you are kind of a walking military secret. This is as close as we can get. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, don't be. Once the world's at peace, though, we'll go there together. Yeah. You know, I did always like the view from up here. Back in my world, this is where all the problem kids and lovesick teenagers would congregate.
Hi.
I see. This hill holds a lot of memories for a lot of people, myself very much included.
Hi.
I see. The view's pretty different in this world, but I still like coming out here. You never did know about this place, huh?
外あまり出ないですか
I
ら
don't go out very often.
言いたいことありますよね
Is there something you'd like to say? Yeah.
言ってください
Tell me. I was happy to be back in my own world. What the? Everything came floating back to me all at once. I'm pretty positive that each time I shift between worlds, I feel like I lose some of my memories, but I don't know why. Not to mention that there's another me over in my world, and that I'm still just as fit as I was in the previous timeline. I just don't know how any of it's possible. And I'm assuming I probably lost a lot of memories as well. And unless things play out again in the same way, I'll never notice what I've forgotten. But, whether by pure coincidence or as a result of interference, the moment I saw Sumika, memories of all times we shared came rushing back. I'm not entirely sure that these memories are even of my own anymore, but what I can say for sure is that I remember holding her in my arms and gazing into her eyes as more than childhood friends. We're gonna go ahead and throw a preemptive black screen here, just in case there's any funny business. We were still treating each other the same as we always did, but at the time I could clearly remember how delicate and slender she was when I hugged her. And that's not all. I could remember how soft she was, her smooth skin, how warm she felt. Oh, it was nothing, Burger, never mind. You know, the Yuko in my world told me that if I want to make my dreams come true, I need to believe with all my heart that they will, and I could do everything to make them a reality. And that because I'm trying to travel between worlds through sheer force of will, I need to recognize the weight of my responsibility. You got any aspirations yourself? Aspirations, yeah. I want to read the beta's thoughts, but that's not what really you want. No, that's what other people want out of you. Me, when I want to go, I want to save this world and get back home. Those are my top 2 priorities right now. You want to go home? That's the plan, yeah, but only once I fulfilled my purpose here and done everything else I needed to do. Until recently, I'd pretty much given up on the idea I'd ever go home, and I've always been pretty determined to save this world. When we began this experiment, I started worrying that if I did go home, even for just a little while, my resolve would falter. But surprisingly, when I actually made it back, it only made me want to save this one even more. I can't just run off and leave my squad mates behind. And I can't abandon everyone else living in this world either. But that doesn't change the fact that this isn't where I belong. She may be a scatterbrained, obnoxious barbarian, but she's the biggest part of my life and she's not here. It's lonely, you know. You have to live your life without the only person who's always been there for you. Now that I think back on all those memories, I don't think I can go on without her any longer. Especially when everyone else is here and she's not. Not having her by my side, it just hurts, I'm not gonna lie. Dang. The base and traditional Takaru pill. I can't believe that he would ever... He's learning about Best Grill now. Without her, this world can ever be enough for me. I can't do this alone. It's now just too much to bear. Did you do everything together? Yeah, since we were little. She's the first person I ever played with. She's the first person I ever fought with. She's, you know, she's important to you. When you lose someone who's always been such a huge part of your life like that, it leaves a gaping hole in your heart. You feel like you've forgotten something deep and near and deep. Good quote again. Though I guess technically I did forget most everything about her for a while, even after the last time loop. But now I can't help but start reminiscing about it all. The promise we made to each other as kids, the time I finally told her how I felt about her. Reminiscing? Yeah, and now that I know the dreams I've been having lately aren't just figments of my imagination, I'm feeling overwhelmed with nostalgia. Nostalgia, that's right. What does that feeling feel like? I don't have anything to be nostalgic about. So teach me. How come you never brought this up before? I would have been happy to tell you all about it if you just asked. Sure, nostalgia can be pretty bittersweet. But even so, I don't think any memory can be as painful as having nothing to remember. Another good quote. The memories that we have shape the ones we create. It doesn't matter if they're happy or painful. Looking at the past helps us find our way forward. Man, what... Takaru is... This man is absolutely growing on me. I really did not like him at the start of Extra, but man, he's hitting notes. But if you don't have anything worth remembering, what are you supposed to build future on?
軍事機密ですから。
It's just because I'm a military secret. I guess they wouldn't want to take any risks. You do have a vital role to play, after all.
それに
And
みんな私を怖がっています。
because everyone's afraid of me. Who's afraid of you?
私に遺伝子を提供した
Donated my
人たちも
genes.
私を作った人たちも
Those who donated my genes. Those who created me. Your genes? Like your biological parents?
私の能力を知っている人たちはみんな私を怖がっています。
Takaru's just on a field trip. He's born to feel. And I don't know. He's just growing on me. Everyone who knows... There's definitely a lot of similarities with After Story and Alternative. Everyone who knows about my power is afraid of me.
私の姉妹
My
たち
sisters? All their Alternative 3 test subjects, you mean?
はい。暗くて嫌なイメージと色が見えるんです。
Implying it isn't already. The Utsuge ride never ends. Born to feel. Their thoughts of me were always dark and unpleasant. Is that why she ran away from me? Because she thought I'd be afraid.
でもそれが怖いという意味だと知ったのは
But I didn't know that those meant fear until I came here. So Yuko was the same way then.
違います。あの人の中にあるのは興味があるか
Yuko's only emotions are interest and disinterest. Well, that makes sense. She's not emotional.
不思議です。
It's strange. What is?
あなたは私のことを知っても怖がっていませんね。
You know what I am, but you're not afraid of me. Nope.
なぜですか
Why? It's kind of hard to explain why you're scared of some things and not others. It does defy logic.
理屈じゃない。
Defies logic. If anything, I guess I'm probably one of the people that should be afraid of it. That kind of makes us easier to relate to, huh?
特殊な能力。
We both have special powers after all. So are you afraid of me then?
いいえ、
No. Oh, so we're even then. I was waiting all night for you to come back yesterday, you know?
知っています。
I know. Though I did conk out after a while. Takaru's bad fur day. But you know, while I may be getting pretty laid back guy, even a little depressed when you go out of your way, I get a little depressed when you avoid me like that. You would hate if I avoided you, wouldn't you?
はい。
Yes. You're supposed to treat others the way you'd like to be treated, you know? Golden rule. I like how the background is changing in with the conversation. The people who you were afraid of who were afraid of you probably felt guilty. They were scared you'd find out a secret. If you think of it like that, you should be able to forgive them. Oh boy, we should put Kasumi in the Symphonic Rain
あ
timeline.
なたはどうして平気なんですか
Why doesn't it bother you at all? Probably because I'm a pretty simple dude.
単純。
Ah, so him being generic actually matters. I mean, it's not like you could help reading my mind, and if you get the wrong idea about something, I could just clear up the misunderstanding. You could tell I'm being genuine here right now, right? By the way, what am I normally thinking about?
いつも見てるわけじゃありませ
Well, I'm
ん。
not always reading your thoughts. You aren't?
話すより見ることが楽だなんて
I hope you don't think that reading is easier than talking. Oh, I didn't know that.
いいんです。あなたは
It's okay. You're
楽しいです。
eccentric.
バカにしてません。
I'm not making fun of you. You totally were. I, simpleton, could be able to tell that.
うっとひどいです。
Why'd you poke me? That was mean. See, this is what it means to make up with someone.
仲直り
Make up? It's something that both parties agree to. Don't forget, we played Cat's Cradle. Don't forget I poked you. Don't forget how we made up, and how, or any of these memories that we've made together, good and bad. Then someday you'll be able to look back on today and realize how nostalgic it was.
思い出。
Nostalgia. So how's that? Think you have an idea of what nostalgia is?
はい。
Yes. And for what it's worth, I think you gotta let yourself come first more often. You should ask Sensei if you could have some more days off. She won't bite. No harm in trying, right? You've got to start making some memories for yourself, okay? Right?
はい。
Yes. It's getting pretty chilly now that the sun's gone down. Let's head back, okay?
私、
Oh, huh?
この景色、ずっと忘れません。
Oh, I have a feeling this is going to come back into, I'll never forget this view. Well, I'm glad.
この景色を見ながらお話ししたことは、もっと忘れません。
This is ominous. And I will never forget that we sat up here and talked against the setting sun. Neither will I. And one day we'll both be able to look back on today and reminisce.
はい。
Oh God.
私には
Yes.
私の思い出が
And I'll finally have memories of my very own. Gonna end with the shooting star? No. Those don't exist, the beta ate them. What's this? Hey, Makoto, sorry we started without you guys. That's fine, but Kasumi... Huh? You're eating on your own. Well, you're gonna let that stand? They're trying to say you couldn't feed yourself. You were the one getting spoon-fed. Yeah, Kay was talking about that, obviously. You guys are such haters. And yet, while it may be a little bit imprudent to say, I cannot help but feel this is a somewhat unfavorable outcome. You're right. Love is stronger after a storm. You're not helping. Come on, let's ignore those nasty bullies. Just eat up. What did you say? Okay. Atta girl. Go on, get your food, guys. You want to beat the crowd, don't you? Ah, bunch of idiots. Instructor Jinguji. What did I just hear? Nothing. Nothing at all. That was too close. Why can't I ever seem to break a habit? Probably because she got transferred somewhere else before I could fix it in the previous timeline. We going back to the past again? I'll let it slide this time. Kozuki wants to see you. Once you're done eating, go straight to the office. What does she want? I thought we were on break today. Alright, I'll head there after dinner. Good. Return to your meal. What's going on? Did something come up? There was another you in your world? Yeah, there was. It slipped my mind after the whole Kasumi situation. So? Well, I haven't ran into my past self over there. I was able to avoid that, but the funny thing is, I vaguely remember it happening from the other perspective. Can you explain this clearly? Okay, so there was this one time in my world when I was looking for a shoe. Someone threw it back at me, and it turns out that someone was me, avoiding an encounter with my other self. And it played out the same way it did in the first timeline. The only difference was that I was the one throwing the shoe. You did say not to interfere with the timeline, right? Did I screw us over? If the timeline was altered as a result of my actions, it's possible that we wouldn't be able to obtain the necessary equation. And if that happens, we're doomed. Well, from what you said, it doesn't sound like it'll be an issue. You don't think so? Not predetermination. If you remember it happening from the opposite perspective, then your homecoming trip was a predetermined event in the timeline. So, wait, does that also apply to me talking to Sumika about being in this timeline? Though I guess my past self wasn't around, so wouldn't have, that could have also happened last time without my knowledge. But what I want to know is why I was separated from my other self. Other times I wasn't. I'd like to know that myself. Don't think I have the answers. Right. I said it before. There's a flaw with how we've been conducting the experiment so far. You mean how we're overlatching or stretching out this world's space-time to overlap with others? To put it simply, we've been overcompensating for the device's imperfections by increasing its output. That might have something to do with it. Output? Aside from just your stronger bond with Yashiro, the biggest difference between this experiment and the previous ones was the level of output. We cranked it up high enough to push a sizable fragment of our world into yours, where it was integrated into your existential data in the fabric of space-time, allowing you to materialize as a distinct entity. My data as part of a fabric of space-time? This is just sounding like you're making this up as you go, Nomura. Remember our hypothesis for why you shifted between worlds? Why is shift between worlds? The electron thing. Worlds keep pulling me back, like stability, right?
とも2度あんたが選ばれてやり取りされているんだから、その世界が白金の情報を記録している可能性は高いでしょ。
You've been passed between these worlds at least twice now, and it seems pretty likely that your world has some sort of backup to your data. But why only me? I know she won't have the answer, but I can't help but ask.
まあ、あんただけじゃなく、すべての確率世界にはそこに存在するありとあらゆるものの情
Well,
報
I
が
doubt
記
it's
録
just
されて
you.
ると考え
It'd
る
be more
のが
natural
自
to
然ですね。
assume that all possible worlds keep records of everything that exists. Then with a high enough output, wouldn't there be a way to shift between worlds?
はあ？
What? For example, let's say there's a Yuko in my world too. If you could pinpoint her data...
バカね。あんたの言う元の世界の明確な観測イメージを持っているのは
Don't be
この世
stupid.
界であんただけでしょ。
The only one who has a clear enough mental image of that world is you.
無限に存在するであろう世界の中から元の世界を選択してシフトできるのはあんたがそのイメージを持ってるからなのよ。
The only reason you're able to pinpoint that world to shift to among the infinite other possibilities is because you possess the image. Oh, of course. Dude, if she could just go to the equations herself, there's no way in hell she'd be relying on me to get the job done.
世界そのものが持っている記録、意外に的を射てるかも。
The worlds themselves backups of existential data. Maybe that's more fitting analogy than I thought. What does that even mean?
あんたさっき元の世界で鏡澄香の姿を見た瞬間、彼女との記憶を取り戻した。
You said your memories with Sumika came back the moment you saw her, right? Yeah.
白金の複数化と失った記憶が蘇った現象は原理が同じなんじゃないかしら。
Then perhaps we could explain your memories returning using the same theory as to why there are more than one of you. What do you mean?
今のあんたは元の世界の記憶も前のこの世界の記憶も完全じゃない。ということは世界観をシフトする際、何らかの理由で記憶情報が欠落してしまうということ。
Your memories of your own world and the previous timeline are far and few between, which means that for some reason the data of those memories is lost every time you shift. That's the only explanation then, right?
欠落した記憶情報はシフト前の世界に残るのか、虚数空間に飛散してしまうのか。
Maybe the
いずれに
memory
せよそれが蘇ったのは
maybe the memory data gets backed up to the world you're shifting from, or maybe it gets scattered. Whatever it is, we know somehow it came back when you went there. Is that possible? How is it even
今
possible?
回のケースで記憶回収のトリガーになっているのは元の世界の鏡澄香ね。
In any case, it's safe to surmise Sumika was who triggered your memories to return.
安定を望む世界の影響、それに白金の無意識化の意志。
The universe's inherent desire for equilibrium played a role in this, and so does your own subconscious. My subconscious, huh? I mean, I think I had a way more vivid image of the world in my head this time. But I guess she's saying the stuff I've got tucked away deep in my unconscious mind might be more important than that.
まあとにかく実体化という現象にも段階があるということね。そこまでは私も予測できなかったわ。
In any case, we've learned that there are different levels of materialization, which is something I never could have predicted. It just goes to show the importance of experimentation. So what am I supposed to do then?
何が？
About what? If there's another me in that world, how am I supposed to go home?
現状ではその通りね。
You can't. You're kidding.
あんた、この世界を救うのが目的だったんじゃない？
I thought saving this world was your first priority. Obviously, I still want to save this world, that's why I'm going to keep doing the experiments, but after finding out that it might be possible for me to go back, it's hard to just accept the fact that there's another me.
乱暴な言い方だけど、元の世界で長時間の実体化に成功したことには変わりないわ。
I hate sounding insensitive, but the fact is that we've successfully got you to materialize for an extended period of time.
出力の調整と装置の改良をした上で実験は継続する。
We'll continue the experiments after I refine the device and adjust the output level. Understood? Yes, ma'am. But could there be another way to fuse me back together with the other me? No, huh?
そうね。結局、白金の観測イメージ、いえ、意志の力が大きいと思うわ。
Well, perhaps if your perception of yourself is... No, I suppose it would probably be more of a matter of willpower. I guess that makes sense because he said he was different. So if I might be able to merge with myself if I want it bad enough?
気休めに聞こえるかもしれないけど、意志をもっと強く持つことが必要なんだと思う。
It may sound like consolation, but I do think that having a strong will is what matters most. I could obviously understand the difference between a strong will and a weak one, but how do I go from strong to stronger?
何か共通の認識に意志を集中させてみたら？
Focus your will on something the two of you are conscious of? Something we're both conscious of?
元の世界の自分が強く認識している何かと、あなたの意志を同調させるのよ。
Try to focus your mind intently on something you know your past self also feels strongly about.
それはもちろん、元の世界に帰りたいという。
Obviously, it's not something as vague as I want to go home. Any ideas? Well...
今答えを出す必要は
You don't need to answer that now. What?
次の実験まで最低2日はある。装置の改良を含めればもう少しかかる。
You have at least 2 days, maybe even longer. Okay.
仮にその時うまくいかなかったとしても、この世界を救った後でこの問題にじっくり取り組むこともできるでしょ。
And even if we can't get you home right away, we have plenty of time to figure out once this world is saved. She's got a point. The only reason why we have to hurry is because Alternative 5 is looming over our shoulders. If there's nothing wrong with me wanting to go home after Alternative 4 succeeds, what am I getting ahead of myself for?
まったく、いちいち落ち込んでたらやっていけないって言わなかった？
I'll cut it out. We'll never get anything done if you keep sulking like that. Haven't I told you that? I'm sorry.
じゃ、早速装置の改良にかかるから、あんたは部屋に戻って寝なさい。
Well, I'm gonna get to work in tuning up the device. You need to go back to your room and sleep. Understood. I'll see you tomorrow then. Alright, episode 6. Here we go. Takaru? What's up with her? Why is she giving me that look?
あれ？かすみさんは？
Where's Kasumi? Oh, that's what they're getting at. Oh, she's gonna be eating somewhere else from now on. That's too bad. Apparently eating in the room with a brain is more morning ritual, but that's a little much for me, so, where is everyone? Mitsurugi and Ayamine will be here soon. Sakaki left, though. She was upset about losing yesterday's mock battle. Yep, that sounds like her. Takaru, where's Yashiro? Oh, just ask Tama and Makoto.
火山活動の活発化に伴い、昨夜未明、帝国陸軍災害派遣部隊による不法機関車の救出作戦が行われました。
The Night Shift Disaster Relief Squadron evacuated several residents who refused to leave their homes when the volcano showed signs of serious early morning activity. There was no difficulties and all 14 civilians are now safe and secure. News broadcast, eh?
を含む中部地方は大種危険地域に指定されており、民間人の居住は許可されていません。しかし、確認されているだけでも帰還を強行した元住民が
Yeah, why do you think that she hugs it? The bunny thing. It could be because that's the thing that... I mean, I kind of said it earlier. The only gift that that Takaru ever gave Sumika was the bunny. So I'm assuming it may have something to do with that. The Chubu region had been declared a mandatory evacuation zone and no civilians had been permitted to remain in their homes. However, even the confirmed reports of former residents who had illegally returned home in the Mount Tengen, right? Oh, Yugo did get the job done. We didn't even need to be sent out there.
再三の避難勧告にも応じない不法機関車の扱いに関し、内務省の一部からは放置やむなしとする意見も上がりましたが、帝国議会は国民の生命・財産の保護を第一とする立場を。
When it came time to decide how to handle residents that had disregarded multiple evacuation warnings, some members of the Ministry of Internal Affairs argued they should be left to fend for themselves. The Imperial Diet decided on acting again on its own duty to protect the lives and possessions of all citizens. So the woman's is safe. The old woman's safe. What's this now? You seem to be in high spirits. Oh, I do? Man, I've got to stop being so obvious. How could I not be happy? We saved a lot of time skipping that mission. If you add that to the amount of time I was in the detention barracks, 10 whole days saved? What a chunk. We stopped the HSST from falling. We've been testing out brand new OS for the TSF. But the biggest change of all of this is that only a couple of days we'll have the final equation now to complete Unit 00. It's just been one big improvement after another, and now this. The future is changing and my work is paying off. We could use this time that we've learned, just save to allow for even a few more changes, and with each new development, mankind will have a higher chance at victory. I'll make it a certainty. Why are you grinning like that? I hope not because of that news report. What? They went and got a bunch of people and everyone made it out safe? Why shouldn't I be happy? You believe what a news broadcast says? Huh? Do you think the current Japanese government would be above making false reports? What? What I implied, the Imperial forces don't possibly have the resources to spare on a humanitarian mission. So what? You're telling me they just made it up? No, I do not doubt it took place, but do you really think that those who returned to their homes, fully aware of the danger, would have consented to leaving? Yeah, you're right. The elderly people there probably wouldn't have gone without a fight.
噴火警報も出ていないのに未明に救助作戦が行われている。そなたはどう思うのだ？
There have been no imminent signs of eruption, and yet they were evacuated at dawn. Does that not seem strange to you? What, so you think they were all taken at gunpoint or something in the middle of the night? Are you saying they were forcibly evacuated?
分かっているなら何故笑顔を見せる？
If you understand that, then why are you happy? She's upset about this last time too, and I do understand how she feels, and that's why I helped her. But in the end, the old lady evacuated, didn't she? After seeing how hard we fought to protect her? It's the same result as last time, but the ends justify the means. The fate of humanity can't be compromised over a single old lady's wishes. But what can I say to her? Obviously not what I was just thinking, but I can't tell her the truth either. Well, I mean, they were illegally staying there against evacuation orders.
もともとその地に住んでいた者たちだ。
No, they had every right to be there. It's their homeland. That's not what I'm talking about. I appreciate that their homeland is important to them, but their lives are just as important.
助けたのは正しい。だが強制退去はあくまで政府や軍の都合を優先した結果に過ぎない。
Saving lives is just, however, the forcible evacuation was a purely political decision made with no such noble intentions. So what are they supposed to do? Wait till they decide to leave on their own?
リスクを承知で戻ったのだ。避難するかしないかの選択は彼らに委ねるべきであろう。
They returned home fully aware of the risks. The decision on whether or not to leave should be up to theirs and theirs alone. That's fine in principle, but reality's messy. The rescue team might have been forced to risk their lives to save these people, you know?
帝国軍人は国民の生命、財産を守るためにあるのだ。そのために危険を冒すのは当然だ。
Imperial soldiers exist to serve the people of this country. Risking their lives to protect them is only natural. As a general rule, yes, but we're living in an era where we have to put the greater good before the individual.
そうやって誰もが国のためと言いながら力なき者に負担を強いてきたのだ。力ある者が力の使いどころをわきまえておらん。
And in doing so, we just placed the burden of war on powerless men and women, all the while claiming it's for the good of the country. It's an abuse of power vested us in by the state. How was that an abuse of power? What else were they trying to do under the
だから
circumstances?
それがそもそも。
Did you not listen? Besides, you've never even seen you're not even an Imperial soldier. You're a UN surface pilot.
わかっている。
I know that. So then what do you think we should be doing? Granting the request of individual civilians?
それも含まれる。
That is one of our duties. We're fighting a war to save our entire species from extinction. How could you even say that? So you don't care if prioritizing the wishes of a people cause a mission to be compromised, not even if it leads to the fall of mankind? Huh?
ケイさん大丈夫？
Okay, you okay? Ayamine.
あやみねさん。
Hmm? Sheesh, at least clean your food off the floor before you dash off.
タケル、これは私が片付ける。そなたはあやみねを追いかけてくれ。
I got this. Go after Ayamine. What?
言い争うつもりはなかった。周囲の者に不快感を与えてしまったらしいな。
I didn't mean to stir up contention, but it seems our discussion has made our squad mates uncomfortable.
別に不快感なんて。
You guys didn't do anything wrong. Alright, I'll let you handle this then. The question now is, where'd she go to? She's fast. I'm not gonna find her like this. What? Oh, sorry.
いえ、こちらこそ。
It was my fault. But Ayamine, did you make that noise?
何が？
What noise? That little yelp?
知らないよ。
Wasn't me. Pretty sure I didn't imagine that cute little squeal. The heck it wasn't. Wow! I never thought you'd sound girly.
Huh?
Man, they grow up so fast. Glad to see you finally embrace your feminine side. You know, you're always pretty cute. You're always like that. You'd actually be pretty cute. Oh, you can't just suplex me. You're gonna hit me with an STA in the middle of the hall? You trying to kill me? I was able to stick to landing thanks to my intensive training. Wait, where are you going? Ayamine, wait up. No, I didn't even get a chance to apologize. That should have been the first thing I did, huh? What the? An envelope? Someone named the Ghost of Tsushima. I wonder who that is. Huh? 2K. Oh, this must belong to her. She must have dropped it when she threw me to the ground. A letter, huh? I can't be too surprised that people still exchange letters here. It's just I've never had anyone to send to. Hang on a second. Something feels off. There's no stamp. What's with that? I thought UN or do UN letters not need postage? I could just go give this back to her. We still got some time to form up. I'll stop by her room. Still, why would she be walking around with a letter like this? Was she planning on showing it to everyone? Maybe it's from someone that everyone knows but me? Why would it only be addressed to her then? Tsushima Shuji. That's gotta be this guy's name. His handwriting seems impeccable, but it has a masculine feel. She's got some pretty bold handwriting herself. There is some femininity to it. There's only one possible explanation. Scandal amongst the ranks. Her secret lover? This must be a byproduct of me changing history. There were zero hints of anything like this going on. It's really none of my business she got a boyfriend. Or two. Well, two, maybe a little much. I'm just having a hard time picturing her with one. Ayamine, hey, she leave for training? I'm coming in. Well, I figured she was an origami, but I guess she's really not here. Well, she didn't even realize she dropped this letter. I'll just return this then, huh? She got a ton of envelopes, and all of them have the same handwriting. So she's not gonna mind if I take a little peek. Ha! They're all from the same dude. Yeah, these two must be head over heels for each other, but she keeps one of these in her pocket so she could always be with her or some stupid nonsense. Wow, never would have picked her as a romantic type. And this Tsushima guy must be pretty dedicated to her if he's writing all these love letters. What? These haven't even been opened. Must be a dozen. They're sealed. And the one she dropped... Oh, this one's been opened. What the hell? This one has a stamp. All the other ones have two. Is it just the one that I picked up that doesn't? These are some nice looking stamps. I guess everything was presentation, or everything is presentation when writing a love letter. Dozen, huh? I'm not sure if that's a lot or a little by lover standards. Probably someone she knew before she enlisted. Inspected December 1st. When are the others dated? November 1st, October 1st, September 1st, August 1st. This dude hasn't changed. He's arranged it so that every single one arrives on the 1st of each month. Maybe that's the right kind of guy for her. So what about the one I have? December 3rd. Oh, exception to the rule. That must be why she was bothered to open it. I know this is none of my business, but could there be trouble in brewing in paradise? She hadn't opened up any of these. I mean, that obviously means she's not sending replies back either, right? That's gotta get to a guy. I couldn't even imagine being ignored like that. Maybe he set this one off schedule to shake things up. Maybe he's a clever dude. But in any case, Ayamine has just been leaving these around and unopened. Can't help but feel bad. Especially because in her case, it's possible she's just too lazy to open them. It doesn't make sense, though. But how could they pass inspection if they haven't been opened? I don't think they'd let anything without inspection. What about the one I found? No stamp, no postmark, it's been opened by hand. She's the one who opened it, which means somebody must have marked this totally suspicious letter as inspected without ever opening it. Isn't that not weird? No, something's not right adding up. I've never gotten one, but I know the process. I'm pretty sure the base's internal post office opens them up and inspects their contents. Only classified documents get to skip the process. Normal mail is always subject. I don't think Yuko or even the CEO himself would be able to bend the rules on that. These are total mad sus. Something's going on. I really hope I don't stumble across something I shouldn't have. It's not just the letters themselves. Something stamped that these were inspected without even checking the contents. It's a violation of military regulation. It's happening underneath our noses. This can't be waved off as a simple show of respect for lovers. This is dead serious. This is a court-martial offense. She's not involved in some kind of conspiracy, is she? I know the UN has factions, and there's probably a lot of political intrigue behind the scenes, but it's kind of a shock to find something like this so close to home. Now I'm getting kind of worried about what Makoto's dad was saying. America, anti-alternative forces. Things are starting to look up too. But if there's some kind of conspiracy going on here, I can't afford to overlook it. There's no way I'm going to let something like that get in our way. Sorry, I'm going to have to take a look at this letter. In this season, the lifting shield goes stronger with each passing day, and the winter solstice prognosticates the coming snow. Sorry, I couldn't read that. As I gaze out to the frozen landscape, I feel indomitable as a steadfast pine. Yeah, whether in prose or in verse, my words are ever ineffective. For striking though the eventide spectrum may be, is the... What? A drape over the distant peaks, such majesty is lost on those content to remain purblind. Though, as I know you are wise beyond your years, surely you must have good cause to avert your gaze. As Confucius says, it is only in the cold of winter that the pine and cypress are known as evergreen. It is with these words in mind that we gather here, towering like evergreens over weathered clover. Oh, this is mad sus. Resolved to weather the storm. We shall wipe away the lingering regrets of he who wept for his land and for his people. I only ask that you bear witness to the righteous fury that burns in our hearts. Oh, this is sounding like a freaking declaration of war. This is my final letter. For you, I wish only the brightness, most irradiant future. Oh, now I wish I'd taken more literature classes. What century is this? It's like Greek. I could tell this part's talking about wiping away regrets, righteous fury. Dude, that's a call for a civil war. This reeks of military intrigue. I definitely need to get this back to Ayamine. I can't let anyone else see it. This could get ugly. Something is going on. There she is. She's scanning her eyes for the ground looking for the letter. Ayamine.
Huh?
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Where have you been? Out. Out where? Patrol. Psh. It's so like her to try and completely play it off. Though, to be fair, she probably doesn't want anybody knowing about this. Don't try to hide it. You're looking for this, aren't you? Here. Wonder if this thing makes any more sense to her than it does me. Did you look? Of course not. There's no way that Ayamine is a part of some anti-alternative conspiracy, right? Nah, she'd do a better job of hiding it if she was. But she is quite the enigma. Can't say I'm sure. Even if the superior ordered me to, I wouldn't want to suspect a comrade. I just hope this is a misunderstanding. What? Really? Yeah. Go, take it. Go on. I knew it. That letter was something serious. Just don't drop it this time, alright? Actually, how about just quit throwing people around entirely? I'll be more careful. Oh, that's certainly not the response I was expecting. Be more careful, huh? Sure, it's the right thing to say that given the situation, but it also kind of makes it sound like she's hiding something. Sorry about earlier. Well, first off, for making fun of you, and for making you mad in the PX. That's fine. Next time, clean up the mess you make, though. Maya had to end up doing it for you. I'll apologize to her later. Well, I think she might actually have to apologize to you first. She said she didn't mean to offend anybody and all that. I see. She's being very cautious around me now. This isn't normal, and she's not acting like herself. Don't be late for training. I'll see you later. Did you look, huh? Didn't you? Look at what? Letter? Yeah, I looked at the envelope. How could I not know if it was yours? That's all? Yeah. Really? I did think it was kind of weird, though. I don't know how something without a stamp on it passed through inspection. Did you or didn't you? Oh, she's on her guard. At least that way I won't have to be paranoid. The letter accidentally slipped out when you dropped it, so I captured a glimpse. Liar. Okay, I'm a liar. Pretty bold-faced one. I know I need to be prepared to do whatever to save humanity, but this is wrong. Okay, my bad. You're not a good liar either. You're just like him. I am. The guy sending the letters? I'm the only one good at lying. What the? It's always just me. What's that even supposed to mean? You knew? No, I don't even know what you're talking about. I see. Ayamine? What did he write? Didn't you see it yourself? You haven't looked at it? What did it say? From the tiny bit I saw, it was written in super formal poetic, Japanese. I couldn't even make heads or tails of it. I see. But it seems like something's on your mind. If something's going on, you know you can talk to me, right? A problem for you is a problem for everyone, and it'd better you don't know. What's that supposed to mean? I don't want to have to kill you. What? Hey, hang on. Kill me, so... She'd kill me if I found out? I sure wish this was a joke. Look, even if you're involved in some shady stuff, do me a favor and don't let anything happen for another month. If you get in the way of Alternative 4, I'll have to take you out too, then. I mean, it's not like suspicious behavior is anything new, but at the all time, it's just... I highly doubt it's just an act. I don't want to believe it, but from that look, she meant what she said when she said she was going to kill me if I knew. Although, if she was some sort of covert operative directly involved in some sort of conspiracy, I don't think she'd be stupid enough to drop a letter. It'd make more sense to assume that she planted it intentionally. After my run-ins with Makoto and Tsukiyomi, I know both the Imperial Ministry of Intelligence and the Royal Guard are aware that I'm not supposed to be alive. Is she involved with either one of those sides? Big think moment. Activating almonds. The weird thing is, I don't remember her being mixed up in anything like that the last time around. I may have forgotten bits and pieces of major certain events, but nothing that major. But it's also true that a lot of unfamiliar events have been happening lately, now that the future's starting to change. Up until now, I've been at an advantage. Not only did I have more military experience, but I also knew what was going to happen and when. But from now on, I'm totally on the dark about any upcoming events. That's not entirely a bad thing. It's just the result of intel and insights I had to offer to bring Alternative 4 closer to completion. That said, we are at a critical juncture right now. I can't afford to worry about appearances anymore, even if it leads to more arguments like the one I had this morning. I'm not going to have the upper hand for much longer. I can't start resting on laurels. For the moment, I better do a little digging. I could probably wait to tell Yuko until I know more, though. But the question is, how am I going to get Ayamine to talk? Intimidation methods don't work. I'll have to make use of everything I know about her from my world if I'm going to wring it out of her. I still haven't even apologized for looking at the letter, so I guess I could use that as an excuse. But how to start the conversation? There's only one thing I could do. Play the trump card. What do you need? Are you skipping class? I already told you I'm on a different schedule, remember? Though, since they only gave me yesterday off, but she hasn't called me back. She probably hasn't finished tuning the device. Are you a hooky playing type? Did you even hear what I said? I'm not going to tell Marimo. Apparently not. You want some grub? No, I'm not going to here to bake for handouts. Do you have any synthetic yakisoba? What about it? I need some. I thought you weren't looking for handouts. It's not. I need it for something else. Come again? I need it just now and fast. Something terrible might happen if not. You're acting strange today. Please. I can't get Miss Kizuka involved in this. I'm just gonna have to beg her till she gives in. You're a real piece of work. Fine, I'll do it. Thank you so much, Miss Kizuka. And do you have any leftover synthetic bread? Still got some from this morning. Yeah, perfect. What you need it for? To assemble my trump card. This is it, the moment I've been waiting for. Early enough to be hungry, dinner still a ways away. Secret weapon. This is Ayamine's greatest weakness. From deep within the fabric of space-time, the yakisoba sandwich, resurrected. Even though it's made from synthetic ingredients, there's no way she'll be able to resist the temptation. There she is. If there's anything Ayamine likes as much as a yakisoba sandwich, it's high places. Figured she'd be here. Buzz off, I don't want to see you. What? Gotcha. I'm the only good liar around here, huh? Go ahead, play it cool. Well, good for you. Enough about that, though. Guess what? I brought you a meal you'll never forget. Yakisoba? Oh, you poor unenlightened soul. Behold, the ultimate dish I invented. Oh my god, that's in the picture of Muv-Luv Extra. That's like legit what she's eating in Muv-Luv Extra. Who would have thought that the freaking most obscure looking sandwich would actually come into play in Alternative? She's not reacting at all. Why isn't this working? Did I overdo it? After what happened back there, I guess I shouldn't expect to win her over with food-related bribery. Well... She's taking the bait. Can I eat it? Oh, yeah, I made it for you. How is it? Do you like it? Anybody in there? Ayamine? More. That's all I got. Lame. Only one per day. Was it really that good? I could cry. It was that good. You don't say. Yes, I got her. The air cleared between us now, too. I never thought the day when I was the one training with her with these things. Hey, I'm sorry for looking at the letter. I really should have just apologized in the first place. And I'm sorry that I lied to you about reading it. That was terrible of me. Yeah. What? Hey, you're supposed to be like, it's fine, or something. Hey, your word's not mine. Well, yeah, it hurts a lot more when somebody else says it, though. No pain, no gain. Okay, fair point. You ever hear that? No, I get where you're coming from. What'd the letter say? It was over my head. So you're an idiot. You didn't even look at it. Poor thing. Besides, when you had to kill me if I understood what it was, what was it even about? My bad, don't answer that. I don't want to get murdered. But why did you ask me what it said? Can you not read it yourself? What the heck? I'm being totally straightforward with her and this is all I get? Should she really not even read it? If that's the case, maybe I am just blowing things out of proportion and it's just a simple love letter. But if that was the case, why would he be writing about righteous fear and lingering regrets? I'll just stop talking about it then. Just don't bottle everything up inside. I'm saying that as your squad mate. And I'm saying this as a UN soldier. You can handle it any problem you want, as long as it's your problem, not ours. That's all I wanted to say. See ya. That was tasty. Huh? Make more. Oh, okay. Bye. Yeah. Okay, bye. It's cute when you wave. Bye. Don't copy Kasumi. Was I good? Shut up. Red as a tomato, you are cute. What is your problem? Don't imitate Kasumi. Who you calling cute? She's just toying with me. I'm just gonna leave her alone. I won't bring it up again. If I'm not too pushy, she won't talk. Maybe I should let Yuko know. No, I'll wait a little longer. She got her hands full fine-tuning that device. Getting these equations is way more important than this. December 5th. Alright, this is the day apparently my buddy says that it starts popping off. Morning already. Why is it so cold? Morning, sunshine. You're up early. 4 a.m.? Isn't that too early? The professor told me to wake you up. We're already moving ahead with the experiment? It's been 2 days. No, she wants more time to adjust it. We'll be doing it by tomorrow. Oh, way to go. You didn't forget that you were supposed to tell me this time. Just messing with you. Take it easy today. So she is having trouble with adjustments. Something must have happened with Yuko couldn't predict. Sucks to lose time, but if it increases our chances of success, I can't complain. Oh, sorry about that. After all, these formulas are the final piece of Alternative 4. I was probably the right move not to tell Sensei about the letter. I'm gonna go straight in with the rest of my squad today. I'll go downstairs then. Downstairs, huh? Being alone must be boring. I'd like to make some more memories with her, but if I slack off any longer, I'll get rusty. And I'd also like to see how well everyone's doing with the new Sorry, Kasumi. Don't be. I'll be researching Cat's Cradle. Oh yeah, that'll be nice. Have fun. Yeah, making memories. Doing his Cat's Cradle alone in the brain room? Well, it'll make for a unique memory, that's for sure. Good luck with your research. Bye. Bye. Yeah, bye. What's wrong? It's cute when you wave. Oh god. That's the last person I'd be rubbing off on her. Please, no one but her. Seriously, lousy role model. But anyway, why did she wake me up? If we aren't doing the experiment, then... This isn't going to be like some surprise evaluation, is it? Oh well. What is up, PK? Hope you're doing well. It feels like it's been forever since I've been in a Fubuki. Probably because I've been traveling between worlds so much. It's only been like 4 or 5 days, but it feels like ages. I almost wonder if the others have surpassed me in terms of piloting skill by now, but I doubt it. Wake up, Maya. Oh, you're already up? So you're up and about it too, huh? Idiot. Everyone just received an emergency wake-up call. It's like surprise evaluation? Uh-oh, emergency wake-up call? I do not know. All I know is that we've been told that we are said to remain on standby. I was unsure on what to do, as I know you are currently on a special mission with Kozuki, but I figured I should just inform you. Thank you so much for the sub! Oh well, I appreciate it. Yuko already had woken me up though. And in regard to what happened yesterday, I did apologize to Ayamine, but she immediately did the same. Oh, yeah, right. I tried talking to her about it last night, but I'm still not sure why it upset her so much. I can't tell Mei about the letters. I've got to change the subject, fast. Anyways, I hope they don't make us sit around twiddling our thumbs for too long. I really wanted to get back to training today. You finished your special mission then? No, I've got nothing more to do till tomorrow, so I figured I'd just check up on you guys and see how much you've improved. What remarkable confidence. Just be prepared to learn a thing or two. That a challenge? I know I'm going to have to sit tight and wait till tomorrow for Sensei to be ready, but after all the time I've saved, I'd prefer not to have a whole day go completely to waste, if I could help it. Not to mention things have been so dang hectic lately. It'd be nice to hop in a TSF, blow off some steam. What was on the agenda for today? Mock battle. Mitsurugi, did you find Shirogane? I don't like that ellipse. I don't like that the bar, the ellipses. Indeed I did, and what's more, he wishes to join today in our mock battle. Hey, long time no see, class rep, so is it cool if I join you guys? I won't slow you down. No, nothing, Burger. Why are you asking me? I can't give you permission. Go ask the instructor. Oh, right. Good grief, we've been woken up early and put on standby and you're carefree as ever. How about all 5 of you against me? Someone's awfully full of himself. Once we school you with your own OS, I think you'll... What's going on? I don't remember this. Oh, wonderful. So this is what he meant by December 5 is when things get fun. DEFCON 2 is in effect. All combat units are standby full gear. I say again, DEFCON 2 in effect. All combat units. What? Straight to DEFCON 2? What is going on? This didn't happen last timeline. Wait, don't tell me. DEFCON 2 is in full effect. All units in standby gear are full gear. I say again, DEFCON 2. All combat units. Right. There's no way. There's no way. I know. It's just impossible. What are you doing? Is this Alternative 5? I may have changed history, but what if it advanced too soon? I gotta go see Yuko immediately. We'll tell the instructor. Thank you. What is going on? They can't put Alternative 5 in. They can't. Oh, wonder it just keeps tumbling down. Yuko's not in her room. Command center? What do you mean by that, Commander? This matter should be dealt with internally by the Japanese Empire. If we as a UN base were to intervene without explicit permission from the Imperial Administration, we haven't a moment left to spare. If we let this opportunity slip by, you'll regret it. It sounds like an awfully American way of doing things. Is the UN really that desperate to reinforce the US stranglehold on the what? Asia Pacific? Asiatic sphere? Thomas' dad, what the? Dang, Thomas' dad is raging. Professor, the UN military is exactly as the name implies, the military force of the United Nations. No matter how much independence you've been granted, you and your alternative program colleagues are still part of the UN, mere servants in the international community. Yes, but as the commander so kindly put it, the Japanese government hasn't requested assistance. Remind me again as to when it was the UN gained the authority to negate the sovereignty of its member states? Japan's the cornerstone of the Far East anti-beta defense. It's not in the UN's interest to let Japan crumble in upon itself. In turn, that would threaten the security of Yokohama base with the precious alternative program being housed. You've joined at the right time. However, Under Secretary, it appears entirely possible this disturbance can be dealt with by the IJF alone. I see no clear and pressing need for UN intervention at... It's preventative measure. This project may well determine the fate of all mankind. This cannot be jeopardized. Oh. Here we go. Civil War arc. What if the coup just succeeds and the new regime seizes this base and humanity's best chance to survive along with it? Coup? What? Not Alternative 5? Our base would respond with full force in the name of the UN. We would most certainly request American aid. But the time for that hasn't come. We cannot allow the US military to get involved.
だいたいこのタイミングで
Yeah.
アメリカ太平洋艦
I mean, that's up to you.
に展開しているというのはどういうことです？まるで何が起きるか知っていたみたいですわね。
And yes, and more so over, isn't it rather convenient that the American Pacific Fleet is currently camped out in Sagami Bay? Almost like they would know this, they knew this would happen?
艦隊については緊急の演習と聞いておりますが、まさに行幸といったところでしょうか。
I have been told that they're... Yeah, you two, dude, go finish up your backlog. I've been told that they are conducting emergency exercises there. We should consider ourselves lucky.
それに、5日ほど前、CIA より基地司令部宛てに、帝国軍内部に不穏な動きありとの考え。
And if I recall correctly, American intelligence issued a warning to HQ about the unrest within IJF nearly 5 days in advance?
用意周到ですこと。
Alright, take it easy, King. How provident of them.
事務次官、あなたも日本人なら、アメリカのそのような強硬姿勢が、この国でどのような反発を生んでいるのかはご存知のはずでしょう。
Undersecretary, as a Japanese citizen, you're aware of the ill will your countrymen still harbor for this kind of hardline approach America takes.
言っても無駄ですわ、司令。属国のそしりを受けてまで忠実なパートナーであろうとした日本をさっさと切り捨てて逃げ出した国ですから。
Don't waste your breath, Commander. He's speaking on behalf of a country who would throw out its strongest allies to the wolves.
日米安保条約を一方的に破棄し、他のアジア諸国からも一斉に撤退したアメリカは、極東における条約上の義務と権利の一切を大東亜連合に移譲したと記憶しておりますが。
If memory serves, after America broke the U.S.-Japan Security Treaty and retreated en masse from all of its Asian outposts, all rights and duties for the policing of the Far East were transferred to the Koshin, right?
私はアメリカ政府の人間ではありません。それに、日本とアメリカの昔の関係について。
I will remind you that I'm not an agent of the American government.
問題なのは今とこれからなのです。
Reopening old wounds would serve no constructive purpose in considering the predicament. We should be focusing on the matter at hand and determining the best way to respond.
国連軍の実態がアメリカ軍だと認めないのは国連とアメリカ政府だけですよ。
Undersecretary, everyone knows the UN force is just a glorified US military, as much as they'll deny it.
国連軍とアメリカ軍を混同する発言は慎んでもらいたい。
I must ask the two of you to refrain from confusing the UN military with the US military.
あなた方は全人類の命運を左右する国連の活動を
And if I might add,
認めないとおっしゃるの
it sounds as though you're forgetting all the UN has done good in the name of interests of humankind.
いいえ、筋としてまず日本政府の了解が必要だと申し上げているだけです。
Not at all. We're only saying we can't take action without the consent of the Japanese
それに
government.
私たちは日本政府の関係者ではありません。そんな質問に答えられるわけありません。
And given we're not Japanese government officials, we're not at the liberty to address your concerns.
どうしても増援部隊を受け入れることは
So you are determined to not accept any American reinforcements.
受け入れないとは申し上げておりません。正式な手続きが踏まれてない上に。
I like how they're all talking about this when Taku's just vibing in the corner. We never said we wouldn't accept their assistance. We only noted it would be premature to do so at this time, as there's been no formal request filed.
そうですわ、
Filed.
事務次
Sorry
官。
about that.
私は先ほど日本の世論をお伝えしたまで。
Exactly,
個人
Mr.
的な反米
Secretary.
感情はみじんも持ち合わせておりません。
Well, I'm just talking about the general populace. I don't harbor any anti-American sentiment.
嘉手納や岩国の国連基地であればともかく、この横浜はオルタネイティブ計画直轄基地です。
Unlike the UN bases at Kadena and
安保理の正
Iwakuni,
式な決議を待ちましょう。
Yokohama is under the direct control of the alternative program. We should wait until the Security Council is officially voted.
平行線ですな。
Then we are at an impasse.
では事務次官、展開中の第7艦隊にお引き取り願っていただけないかしら。
Yes,
大
now,
変目障りですね。
would you be as kind as to withdraw the 7th Fleet from our bay? It's obstructing our lovely view.
私にそのような権限などありません。それはご承知のはずだと思っていました。
Those decisions are far beyond my jurisdiction, but you already knew that.
あら、失礼。
Oh, how silly of me. It doesn't seem like they're talking about Alternative 5, but this is some major, serious business.
今は人類の未来を優先すべき時です。たとえそれが特定の集団の利益につ
In these dark times, we must prioritize humanity's future above all else, even if doing so to benefit one group more than another.
それは理解しています。だからこそ筋を通していただきたい。
We understand.
国連軍が正義であることを世界に示すために。
We understand that completely, and it's precisely why we'd like you to adhere to the standard protocols, show that the world that the UN military does indeed represent justice.
安保理の決議待ちではどうしても対応が後手になります。お二人はそれを理解してらっしゃると思いますが。
If we wait for the Security Council to vote, it'll be far too late to help them. Surely you two have to recognize that.
次期オルタネイティブ予備計画が動き始めて早3年。次期計画推進派の圧力も日々高まっています。
It's been 3 years since preparations for the next stage of the alternative program began. The pressure from its supporters to commence operations is growing by the day. The next stage of the program? Alternative 5?
対ベータ戦略の見直しを提唱するアメリカはもはやしびれを切らし、オルタネイティブ計画自体に見切りをつけ、独自行動に踏み出す機会を伺っています。
America's always advocated a reassessment of our anti-beta strategies, and by now they're growing increasingly impatient with the alternative program as a whole. They're looking for an excuse to abandon it and take independent action. Let me get this straight. Right now, within the UN, we've got the anti-alternative side, which is the Americans, and the pro-alternative side, which is cut down the middle between those who support 4 and those who want to move on to 5, right?
私も国連職員である前に、一人の日本人として、
I want to see Alternative 4 completed with Japan, not as a member of the UN, but as a Japanese citizen.
事務次官、ここでそのような発言は。
Mr. Undersecretary, should you really say that?
いいじゃないですか、司令。事務次官に倣って、私も日本人として言わせて。
What does it matter, Commander? In fact, I'll say something as a Japanese citizen.
博士。
結局アメリカは極東の防衛線が崩壊してアメリカ本土が戦場になるのを避けたいだけでしょ。
The only reason why America wants to maintain a Far East defense line is to make sure fighting never ends up on its own soil, right?
戦略の転換って言っても G 弾をアメリカ本土以外でバンバン使ってベータを全滅させて戦後の地球に君臨したいだけなのよ。自国は無傷のままね。
Call to change the strategy, but all they really want to do is just G-bomb the world of hell until every last beta is eradicated, at which point they'll descend from the ivory tower and take dominion over the rubble. The global police force strikes again. As the UN stops playing ball, they're likely to take matters into their own hands.
ご安心ください、事務次官。オルタネイティブ5の発動もアメリカの独断専行も許しませんから。
Rest assured, Mr. Undersecretary, Alternative 5 will never be enacted, nor will we tolerate any American insurgency. You sound quite confident. Considering you've yet to produce any results, what makes you so sure? Whether you believe me or not is your own prerogative. With all due respect, Professor, I don't believe I'm the one you need to be convincing. I'll take my leave for now. As soon as we receive formal permission from the UN Security Council, we will gladly welcome American troops to our base. Very well then, I'll return shortly. Things have certainly taken a turn for the worse.
アメリカはなし崩しに横浜基地を占拠して計画そのものを接収してしまうことを考えているかもしれ
You
ない。
could say that again. For all we know, this could be a ploy by America to worm their way into our base and take control of Alternative 4.
安保理もそこまでは許すまい。だが、アメリカの機嫌も損ねたくない。
The Security Council will never allow that, but they certainly don't want to upset the Americans
で
either.
はすぐにでも正式な決議がなされると。
So you think they'll be able to quick to cast their vote?
おそらくな。この状況を盾にすれば、安保理も認めざるを得まい。
Quite possibly. Given the situation we're in, the Council won't have much of a choice.
所詮日本政府の意向が全人類の利益と同じ計りの上に乗ることはありえない。アメリカの狙いは最初からそれだったということです。
In which case, the opinions of the Japanese government will take a backseat to the interests of humanity, which is what they wanted in the first place.
事務次官もアメリカの真の目的は十分分かっていて、あえて非合法な形でのアメリカ軍受け入れを望んだのだろう。
Though I do have to wonder if the Undersecretary might be privy to their true objective. It would explain his request for U.S. troops to be stationed here illegally.
確かに事務次官の言葉に嘘はないと思いますわ。あの方なりに人類全体のことを思い、信念に基づいてその責務を果たしていらっしゃるのでしょう。
I don't think he was hiding anything. I just imagine he really is thinking about mankind as a whole, and is only acting on the basis of his own conviction.
そうであってもらわなければ困る。 だが、所詮政治家だよ。現場というものが見えてない。
One would certainly hope so, but at the end of the day, the man's a politician. He clearly has little interest in the petty concerns of men in the field.
あら、手厳しい。
What a sharp tongue you have.
光月博士からその言葉をいただく。
Coming from you, that's quite the compliment. She sounds so different now, at least what I'm compared to. Is this one of those grown-ups are talking situations?
私は発令室に戻る。博士、あとはよろしく。
I'll be returning to my station. I'll leave the rest to you.
はい。
Alright, here's my chance.
こんなところで何をしている?
What are you doing here? Oh. When the hell did he get here?
あんたたち、こんなところで何やってるの?
Well, what brings you two here? Yeah, about that. Yoroi, what are you doing
この
here?
間のイースター島土産は絶品だったろう。まあ、チリ本土で買ったんだがね。
Souvenir I gave you from Easter Island sure was quite the find, huh? Though, to be honest, I actually bought it on the Chilean mainland. Way to completely ignore. It's a time and place for stuff, this isn't it? I gave that thing to Kasumi.
そんな話はどうでもいい。
Not important now. But you're the one who asked.
君に用事があって尋ねるほど私も変人ではないのでね。
Sorry to disappoint, but I didn't come to chit-chat. I'm not that eccentric. Could have fooled me.
話は変わりますが、
Professor,
よろしい
to return to the topic at hand.
別に話は変わってないわよ。
We never left it.
場所を考えて発言していただきたいものですな。機密情報をああも大っぴらに。スパイに聞かれたらどうするおつもりですか?
I think you gotta consider where you are when you have these little chats. I mean, the way you were tossing around information, classified information, what if there was a spy?
中央作戦司令室にスパイなんていないわ。あなた以外にね。
There's never any spies in Central Command. Just you.
私はスパイではありませんから大丈夫。
Well, I'm not a spy either, so you should be fine. But he's an employee of the Ministry of Intelligence. How is he not a spy?
そう。だったら問題ないです。
Great, then we don't have a problem.
なるほど。それは確か
I suppose we don't. Yuko's already sick of dealing with this guy.
どこから聞いてたのかしら?
So how much of that did you
それ
hear?
を言うわけにはいきませんね。まあ、あえて言うなら全てかと。
I can't tell you that, but if you want to know, all of it. Gee, what did he say tight-lipped?
騒がしいぞ、白金たける。
You're quite the chatterbox today. With all due respect, it's because you're off your rocker.
綺麗な男だな、君は。
That's a little impolite.
まあ、若いうちは仕方がない。だがね、人の話はちゃんと聞いた方がいい。将来ろくな人間にならない。
I suppose it's to be expected at your age, but I do suggest you work on your listening skills or you're in for a rude awakening when you head out to the real world. Oh yeah, I'm the one with the listening problem.
それより白金がなんでここにいるわけ? ここまでのセキュリティ。あ、そっか。ここって私の部屋より機密。
How did you get in here? You need a security clearance level. Oh, wait, this place has a lower security level than my own office.
私が入れるくらいですからな。
It's low enough that even I got in.
警報が聞こえなかったわけ? あんたが行くべき場所は別のところよ。
Didn't you hear the alarm? Shouldn't you have gone with the rest of your squad? Yeah, I just thought something to do with Alternative 5.
安心しなさい。日本国内でちょっとした面倒が起きてるだけ。
Don't worry, just a little bit of trouble brewing here.
さすがですな。帝国軍が必死に情報封鎖を行っている最中だというのに。
Music change.
どこまでご存知なんですか?
Very impressive, especially considering the drastic measures from the IJF to prevent information from leaking. How much do you really know?
大元の線を抜いたのはあなたでしょ? だいたいこの前来た時だってベラベラ喋ってたじゃん。
That's funny coming from the one who, I imagine, was the source of the leak. Why, you could hardly shut up about it.
褒めても何も出ませんよ。
Flattery gets you
褒
nowhere.
めてないんだけど。
Wasn't a compliment.
決起の目的、決起した部隊とその裏にいる人物。さて、どこまでご存知ですかな?
Do you know what the rebels' goal is? What squadron's rebelled? Who's behind it? I'd love to know how well informed you are.
そうね。八方美人の度が過ぎると消されるの。
Sounds like you're enjoying this, but you realize that playing for both teams will get you killed someday.
切ないですな。私はこの星と博士のように美しい女性。
Yeah, isn't it tragic? And all I want to do is protect the planet and the beautiful women like yourself who
そ
inhabit
れ
it.
だけは信じてあげる。それ以外は信用しな
I'll
い。
believe that, not anything else that comes out of your mouth.
いえいえ、そのお言葉だけで十分光栄。
That alone is more of an honor than I deserve.
ね。どうせ聞かれなくても喋っていくんでしょ?
So you're gonna tell me whether I ask you or not, right?
現在、帝都守備隊を中核としたクーデター部隊は、首相官邸、帝国議事堂、各省庁などの政府主要機関を完全に制圧。各政党本部と主要な新聞社や放送局も占拠し、
The coup forces, with the Imperial capital garrison at their core, have seized control of the Prime Minister's residence, the Imperial Diet Building, as well as all offices and ministries. They've occupied the headquarters of every political party, major newspaper, broadcasting network. One could say they control virtually the entire capital. They even seem to have secured the primary water purification facility as well as a few power plants. Quite the impressive display, I must admit. Well, if the Imperial capital garrison revolted, it's not like there'd be anyone to stop them. It certainly sounds that way. So is the Shogun still unharmed? The Shogun? Elite members of the Royal Guard are fortifying the Imperial Palace, but the rebels are preparing to storm the facility. Once the siege begins, it'll only be a matter of time. The Imperial Palace, that's where the Shogun lives, and Mei is related to the Shogun somehow. She's probably worried sick. You sound delighted about all of this, like everything's going according to plan. Oh, that's giving me far too much credit. The real puppet masters here are the American intelligence agencies and pro-Alternative 5 friends in the UN. I'm nothing more than a stagehand. Why would America be working with Alternative 5? I thought America was against alternatives. Wait, that would explain why Alternative 5 incorporated a post-migratory G-bomb. They're working together. For a stagehand, you're quite the convincing actor, though I can't imagine everyone else in the Ministry of Intelligence is totally incompetent. They've singled you out by now, yeah? Don't be silly. I haven't the nerve for such dangerous games. And I imagine the UN higher-ups are just using you as well, despite how risky that might be. Surely you're aware that you're also using them. Really, Professor Kazuki, you give me far more credit than I deserve. I can almost feel a blush coming on. Personally, I wouldn't be so cheerful about making enemies of both the UN and the Empire. I'm sure it feels gratifying to be making history, but watch your back. Making history? Huh, that's what all men like to aspire to do, huh? I'd like to take a stab at it someday. Just don't bite off more you could chew. I'd rather prefer not to lose one of my pawns. I'm honored you consider me indispensable. Are you jealous, Takaru? Sure. She just called you a pawn, dude. That's not high praise. My turn for questions. I never asked you anything. You just started running your mouth. You made some bold claims when speaking with Undersecretary Tamase. I imagine that means the Alternative 4 project is coming along quite favorably. Why are you looking at me? Does he know I'm contributing? Is that perhaps thanks to the help of our friend Takaru here? Didn't I just tell you not to bite off more you can chew? While I'd hate to lose such a useful pawn, if the state of the board calls for a sacrifice, I won't lose any sleep. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. How very cold of you. I'm doing all this to help you, and this is the thanks I get? Oh, you're using me, and we both know it. Well, naturally. In my line of work, we make use of everything and everyone we can. Now, not that you're any different, are you? You could cut the tension with a knife here. I'll do whatever it takes to achieve my objective, sacrificing a relative of the Shogun, the Prime Minister's daughter, my own flesh and blood. Anything in my way will have to be disposed of. Your way? What is it? That stuff you just said, what was that about? Relative of the Shogun, Maya? Class rep? That's the Prime Minister's daughter. Do you really think you'll get an answer to every question you ask? What do you mean you sacrifice them? Your own flesh and blood? You mean you let Makoto die? I don't intend to have any of you die in vain. I would only sacrifice you in the time and place where it would have the greatest possible effect. Kazuki feels the same. What? Isn't that right? A blood relative of the Shogun, the daughter of a UN Undersecretary, the daughter of the Prime Minister. What's he going on about? The daughter of former Army General Ayamine Shukaku. Finally, the daughter of Yoroi, Chief of Ministry of Investigations. Uh-oh. Do you think an illustrious group was really brought together by coincidence? He's right. Back when I first found out about this, I knew it wasn't a coincidence. At this time, I knew Makoto was the only one with some kind of baggage, but you got ties to this guy. If I remember right, Class Rep tried to enlist the IJF against her father's wishes, but he arranged for her to be stationed here. Is that a lie? Oh, I've said too much. I suppose it's time I made myself scarce. Oh, this is for you. Uh-huh. A doll? It's like half man, half bird. It's a souvenir from the last continent of Mu. It'll keep you out of harm's way. Carry it with you. And how is this bird thing going to do that? And why do you even visit a lost continent? Don't throw it away, you will be cursed. Wait a second. He did it again. Time to get moving. What was that guy being serious about? This has nothing to do with Alternative 5, don't worry. Sacrificing us, I mean. Interpret that however you'd like. As man already told you, don't assume you'll get an answer to every question you ask, but... Though knowing you, I can imagine you'll be pulling your hair out tonight trying to make sense of it all. For someone who talks big about saving mankind, it'd be nice if you learned not to get everything under your skin. I'm only working with you because we have a common interest. I don't have time to play mommy for you. If you slow me down, we have to dispense the operation. Because you're not that determined to save humanity at all, are you? That's not true. Oh yeah? Then start by focusing on what you can do to move us forward. Yes ma'am then. Good answer, but I'm not your babysitter. God dang. Alright, let's get out then. You heard what's going on? A military coup? It won't affect Alternative 4 though, will it? So you don't have any memory of this then? Oh, great. Not that I'm criticizing you for it. Correct. The next big event is Alternative 5, December 25th. It was right after the Christmas party ended. Wonderful, isn't it? It's definitive proof that we're changing the future. Not to mention this might be a good opportunity for us. Seriously? What could possibly be good about having the Alternative 5 supporters and the anti-alternative Americans both ganging up on us? What is she getting at? I'm counting on you. Well, me? Guess she wants me to figure it out for myself. Oh, NFL Blitz time. Good morning, everyone. Lay off the saluting. This is what we know about the current situation. I briefed them on the basics. Just look. Why would we need to brief a cadet squad in such great detail? This isn't a cadet squad anymore, you know? It's a special unit under my direct command, and as the executive officer of the base, I can't leave my subordinates in the dark. Understood. Oh, until we clean up this mess, Shirogane is back with you. Have fun. A call from Pacific 11th HQ. Yuko's getting a call from the regional HQ? What happened? Did things get worse? We've been informed of how the UN has decided to respond to the current situation. To intervene? The Security Council has voted to incorporate the U.S. 7th Fleet currently deployed in Sagami Bay into the UN Emergency Response Unit. These will be announced in 2 hours. And at the same time, Yokohama will begin accepting American troops. That was faster than expected. What a farce. Lieutenant, connect me to the commander. One moment, please. So Thomas Dan managed to make the Security Council decide in time like he said he would. Unbelievably fast. This is getting more and more scripted. Continue the briefing without me. I need to go help the CO make arrangements for the American troops. Understood. Connection established. Ready when you are. Thanks. Gotta make sure they don't waltz like they own the place. Alright then, review of the situation. As mentioned before, the capital is almost entirely under the control of the coup forces. Our most recent intelligence indicates that the last government facility trying to resist them, the Ministry of Defense, just surrendered. We've also received reports that the Imperial Royal Guard has engaged the coup d'etat forces surrounding this Imperial Palace, though this is yet to be confirmed. According to the provisional government in Sendai, punitive forces are being gathered to rescue the shogun and retake the capital. Are they serious? Almost all the Imperial Japanese mainland defense forces are stationed along the coastline. What are they gonna? Are they even gonna get enough troops to retake the cap? There's no way they're planning on leaving the primary defense line undefended. He has use! The orchestrator of the coup has been identified as Captain Sagiri Noya of the 1st Capital Defense Division, 1st Tactical Armored Regiment. Sagiri Noya, have I heard him before? Or am I just imagining things? I don't remember. In addition, the provisional government has confirmed that the coup's forces have assassinated several cabinet members, including Prime Minister Sakaki? Oh, what? It seems that Captain Sagiri personally executed them one by one, deeming them all traitors. You have my deepest condolences for your father's death. Thank you, but we're on duty. Plastrep's dad was executed, and the guy who did it called him a traitor to the country? Why? Yes, the above ground facility is much appreciated. Please deploy a squadron around the entrances of the underground. Yes, yes. You're authorized to use force. They're about to begin. We'll talk later then. What do? Patch the signal through. The coup forces are going to make a public statement. Oh, epic. It's about to start. My beloved countrymen, I am Captain Sagiri Noya of the Imperial Mainland Defense Force Capital Guard Regiment. This is the guy who killed Plastrep's dad. Wait, is he... As you are well aware, our empire is now the front line in a war against invaders who wish to wipe humanity from the face of Earth. My comrades and I risk our lives day and night, fighting to protect Your Highness, our countrymen, and civilization as we know it. This is a sacred duty entrusted to the government and to we as soldiers. A task that takes precedence over any other. Despite that, can we truly say the government and the imperial military have fulfilled duty? Fellow countrymen, I'm sure you all remember the recent news report on the disaster evacuation of Mount Tengen. The report itself told a wonderful story of soldiers who volunteered to help the locals evacuate, risking their lives to secure the safety of our citizens and worldly possessions. And yes, we have little reason to doubt that the mission was indeed planned and executed for the purpose of saving their lives. But in actuality, the operation was nothing more than a systematic relocation. One forcibly conducted with no regard whatsoever for the rights and wishes of those who would return to live there. The soldiers raided civilian homes and tranquilized the residents in their sleeps, kidnapping them and then transporting them to shelter. The refugees were crammed into temporary structures which barely protected them from the elements, and given neither food nor medical. These innocent civilians were treated like common criminals. That is the reality of these rescue shelters. Countrymen, this incident is merely scratching the surface of the corruption that lies within. A great many of the military operations carried out in Her Highness's name are conducted solely for the convenience and safety of the political elite while ignoring the needs of the citizens meant to protect. In addition, these so-called servants of the state, who only use it for their own selfish gain, never even notified Her Highness of the truth. As this continues, the hearts of the people will be divided from that of their ruler, and Japan's days numbered. Together with a number of like-minded patriots, I recently formed a non-partisan organization as the Strategic Studies Group, and today we have taken up arms in order to set this country back. Strategic Studies. Roy mentioned that when I first met him. That was like a week ago, under the mock battle, right after Undersecretary visited the base. There's been unrest for a new organization. Yeah. So that's what he was talking about. We wish no harm among the Highness or in general populace. The ones we must destroy are the traitors eating away at Japan, the villains ruining this country. Countrymen, we have now declared martial law. While we know this would be cause for concern and inconvenience, particularly those in the capital, we ask you to remain calm. Be sure to keep radios and televisions on. Those of you in need of medical attention. Traitors, though? You got some nerve. How do you paint the classroom's dad as a bad guy? To foreign governments, UN forces within Japan, US 7th. We are controlling the situation. The conflict is subsiding as we speak. This is our problem and ours. Turn it off. I was here. I was actually curious what he might have to say, but what a disappointment. Class rep? It's nothing. Nothing really. It's obvious you're bottling it up. I can see your fist clenched. You're shaking. While we may be UN military personnel, we are Japanese citizens before anything else. It's completely natural to feel affected by this, but
人類の存亡をかけた戦いに国家の垣根を越えて奉仕することだ。
It is in our duty to serve more than that of our own country in this war to ensure the survival of humanity. Never forget that.
全員入隊宣誓聖書。
Everyone, the enlistment oath.
どうした入隊宣誓聖書。
Are you deaf?
はい。私は国際平和と秩序を守る使命を自覚し、厳正な規律を保持し、常に徳操を養い、心身を鍛え、技能を磨き、政治的活動に関与せず、責任感を持って先進任務の遂行にあたり、ことに望んでは危険を顧みず、身をもって責務の完遂に努め、もって人類の負託に応えることを誓う。よし、その言葉の意味をかみしめろ。いいな。
Keep those words of mine, understand?
現在当横浜基地では第一戦術機構大隊、第5航空支援大隊を即応部隊として待機させ。
The 1st Tactical Armored Battalion and the 5th Air Support Group are on emergency standby. All other forces defend this base. Takaru says
先ほど決定さ
nothing.
れたアメリカ軍の受け入れ、おそらく訓練部隊の出る幕などないだろう。
And we've decided to enlist the help of the US. It's unlikely we need cadets.
とはいえ、出撃の可能性はゼロではない。今頃、貴様らの機体も実戦装備に換装されているはずだ。
But it doesn't mean it's not a possibility. I expect your TSFs to have already have been equipped for battle. And she's absolutely right. Anything could happen from here on out. Our first real battle might be against other humans. We'll be fighting our own kind.
その時こそ、貴様らが無駄飯食いではないことを証明してみせ
This
る。
is your chance to earn your meal ticket.
即応態勢で待機せよ。以上。
Be prepared to move out at a moment's notice. Dismissed. Class rep.
何？
What? I'm sorry about your father.
ありがとう。でも気にしないでちょうだい。
Thank you, but don't worry about me.
気を使わせて悪いわね。でも放っといてくれるのが一番ありがたいわ。
I really appreciate it, but it's easier said than done. Just please let me be. Yeah, I figured that might be for the best, but listen,
気にしないでって言ってるでしょ。何か言いたいことがあるなら言いなさいよ。
I told you not to worry about me, didn't I? If you got something to say, then just say it. Okay. I just thought maybe it'd be better to opt out of this operation for you, you know?
どういうこと？
What are you trying to say? I'm sure you know what I
わ
mean.
からないわね。
Apparently, I don't. I saw the way your hands were shaking. Yeah, I know Class Rep wants to win against her father's wishes by discarding her draft exemption and then coming in here. They might not have gone along very well, but it was still her father. It's painful to lose a parent, regardless of how they die, but to have them imagined to be murdered in cold blood, I couldn't even imagine how much she's hurting right now. So at least let your second-in-command take control of the squad for...
何？私に任務が果たせないってこと？
You-
バカにしないで。
Are you saying I'm incompetent? Are you trying to insult me?
神宮寺教官が私を外さなかったのよ。なのに白金は私じゃダメだって言うの。
Instructor Jinguji could tell I could handle it, so what makes you think I can't? I'm just saying you shouldn't bottle emotions up.
だったらどうすればいいの？泣き叫んでみんなを困らせればいい？
So what, you want me to scream, cry, make a big deal out of it?
すがりついて泣きわめけば白金は満足なの？
Would you rather I threw myself into your arms and bawled my eyes out? No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
じゃあ何よ？
Then what? You don't really get the luxury to mourn anyone's death when you're in the military, even if it's a close relative. We can't afford to let our emotions get the best of us, especially during a mission. But we're not on a mission right now. Sure, we're on standby, so we're not technically off duty, but I don't see them deploying us anytime soon. So what's the harm going to be in letting yourself mourn for a little bit before we go? Don't you think it'd be better just to let it out?
この国の総理大臣が死んだのがそんなに悲しい？
Are you really that upset over the Prime Minister's death? What are you making it sound so impersonal for? He's your father.
それが何？
So what? What do you mean, so what?
大きなお世話よ。
Mind your own business. The fact that you're saying that you're going off on me for every little thing I say proves how much you're holding it in. You know everyone could tell you're not okay.
だからこそ いつも通りにしていたのよ。
Of course I do. That's why I'm able to act like everything's fine.
だから邪魔しないで。
So stop trying to make me break down. I would, but you're our squad leader. This is everyone's problem, not just yours. All I'm saying is that you should get yourself some time to calm down and get your thoughts in order.
足手まといだって言いたいの？
Why? Because you think I'll hold everyone back? No, that's not it at all. I'm just saying that these times like this, it's okay to rely on your squad mates. If you still don't think it's none of my business, then I'll lay off. But I don't want to make you feel like you're being cornered or anything.
そんなにいつもと違う？
Was that noticeable? You really have to ask? I think you could probably tell.
そうね。
Yeah.
ショックなんて
I didn't think it would bother
受けないと思って
me at
た。
all.
もともと距離置いてたし、ほとんど会ってもいなかったから。
We've been so distant, and we hadn't seen each other in so long. When did you last see him?
覚えてない。私が志願する前が最後かもしれない。
I don't remember. It was probably back before I enlisted. I see. I haven't seen my parents in a long time either. I don't even know where they are. They might already be dead in this world. I mean, I am, so... I know this might be sounding counterintuitive, but it's actually easier on those around you if you admit that you're in pain.
白金。
Everyone's probably worried sick about you. I don't think they'll say anything, though, thanks to the usual policy you guys go by.
例の。
What do you mean? You know, like that non-intervention stuff? Sorry, I can't help but get involved when I see someone hurting. I'm not great at the whole minding my own business thing, as if you couldn't tell.
そうね。
That's for sure. Come on, you can at least pretend to disagree?
三剣だって今の状況はかなり不安なはずだわ。
I'm sure Mitsurugi's also feeling pretty shaken. You know why, right? Yeah, but she's not gonna let it show
だから
either.
彼女には余計な負担をかけたくないの。
I
やっ
really
ぱり私がやるわ。
don't want to make this harder on her, so I'm just gonna suck it up and do it. Weren't you listening? You sure you're gonna be
い
okay?
いのよ。
It's okay, really.
私にはもう
I don't have anyone
心配しなければならな
I
い
need
人
to
はい
worry about
ない
anymore. Class rep.
だから大丈夫。ちゃんとやってみせる。その方が気が紛れるしね。
So I'll be fine. I'll do it like I always do. It'll help me move on past all this. Okay.
まあ、私たちの出番はないと思うけど。
Of course, I doubt we're gonna be needed anyway. I hope you're right. My gut feeling is that something big's about to go down. Is that just me being paranoid? I can't stop thinking about how Yuko said this might be a good opportunity, counting on me.
副司令である私の直轄部隊なんだから。
It's a special unit under my direct command, and I can't leave my subordinates in the dark. That was an awfully detailed briefing to give such a lowly cadet. There's no telling what they might have in store. Oh shoot, full screen text.
うわ、すごい匂い。こんなんで着座調整してたら窒息しちゃうよ。
Well, that stinks. If we were to adjust our cockpits like this, I'm gonna suffocate. So this is what combat paint looks like. The markings are definitely a lot less conspicuous.
本当だ。台番号も濃いグレーで書いて目立たなくしてあるね。
Yeah, the TSF numbers are all gray, so you can't really see them. It doesn't matter when you're dealing with beta, but we're up against humans this time. I guess it won't hurt to have camouflage. I'm not sure how useful it will be on a TSF with UN colors, though.
出撃の可能性は十分にあるということね。
So there is a fair chance we are getting deployed.
そのようだな。
So it would seem. None of this happened last time. We don't have time for a detour. This country, not just the country, the world needs to come together to focus on the war against the beta. But instead we have to deal with a coup? A real great time for this. What equipment does this one get? Set C, next container. We need live rounds, UC. Got it. Live rounds? Real ammo, and we're going to be firing at other humans with it. The most I've ever shot were paintballs in mock battles. The last mission I had in the previous timeline, the one I remember, was just one where I was on the lookout for any potential beta threats. Though, thankfully, there was no attacks from beta, no anti-migration terrorists. I can't believe my first real battle will be against humans. Something's happening, huh? What do you mean? The Imperial's army is out there all around the base. The IJA? What are they doing here? What are you doing? We're on standby. Let me go after him. Yeah, quickly. Oh, the boys. The boys are back in town. What the hell? We're surrounded. You came to see this too, eh? Well, I came to bring you back, of course. That's the Imperial Japanese Army, right? So would it appear. Not just TSS, but armored divisions. With these numbers, I wouldn't be surprised if they had an MLRS unit behind them. I can imagine coup de forces coming here, but why the IJA? This is a UN military base, but another country's military has landed on their shores uninvited. Any sovereign state's gonna take precautions like this. They're here for the American troops then, not us. This is stupid. Could things get worse? If you don't want American help, just deal with it yourself. The coup's already big enough waste of time. Why is this getting worse? Stop holding us back. If they can afford to deploy troops out here, why aren't they sending more to suppress the coup? This is not the issue. There are American forces occupying the base, and this is a natural response. No wonder we're losing to the beta. We're sitting ducks. How the hell are we gonna win if we're so caught up in stupid stuff like this? Our main objectives are the same, but our differing values come differing methodologies. Yeah, and those values won't mean anything when we're all beta food, will they? Yeah, I didn't think so. They should be our top priority, but reality's never simple, huh? Oh, Suki. What are you doing here? Her Highness is in peril. Are you not at her side? Maya. With all due respect, it was the Shogun herself who tasked us with your protection. You fool, how could you spout such nonsense? Surely you're aware of what is transpiring in the capital as we speak. I am acutely aware, and that is precisely why I must remain at your side, Maya. Do you have no awareness of what you're implying? Stop it! I can defend myself, now leave. Away. I can't. Even if you were to order me otherwise, I am unable to comply. You impudent. Our deepest apologies, but Tsukiyomi is just as concerned for Her Highness's welfare as you are, but you are equal. That's enough. She's right. We're being torn apart by the situation. Maya, try to understand how Tsukiyomi feels. We were named your attendants by the Shogun. How could we abandon that role? Silence. Enough. Forgive me, I don't know what came over me. I like Tsukiyomi's armor. You have nothing to apologize for. It would be inconceivable of you for any of you to disobey her orders. I should know that full well, but... Count me out, Tomoe, Edisu. Forgive me. Yeah, she is the next in line. Think nothing of it. Forgive our impudence. Alright then, let's get down to it, eh? Leave us then. Stand by in the hangar. Shameful display. Forgive me. It's fine really, but more importantly, is the Highness safe? That's what you want to know, right? Is she? The Imperial Royal Guard 2nd Regiment and the rebel forces have both staked out the positions. And I guess that the report that they'd already engaged one was false, huh? For now, the rebels are facing away from the palace, so no weapons are being pointed at Her Highness, but the number of troops encircling them continues to rise. So she's unharmed then? Yes, the 2nd Regiment are the most elite of the Royal Guard. She's in good hands. So, Lieutenant Tsukiyomi, where are these IJA units from? Pulled from the final defense line, I knew it. I've heard that most of the forces for retaking the capital will be extracted from the secondary defense line and the Kanto final defense line. They're leaving the secondary defense line undefended too. Why does this? Why does it matter who gets to remove what? This is ridiculous. If you're calling our nation's sovereignty ridiculous, I will not allow you to stand. Well then what should these stupid power struggles be then? None of this matters if we all get extinct. We're here on the front lines of the Far East and they just want to start the little evolution now. We ought to take full force of the UN and squash every last one of them. Then allow me to ask you this. What if the UN's intervention was heavily influenced by a particular nation's desires for world domination? America, right? From what I heard from the command center, they had a hand in orchestrating the whole thing.
その国家が多様性を認めない自国中心主義であったとしても、貴様の答えは同じなのか?
I wonder if that same country happened to be highly nationalistic and intolerant of diversity. Would you feel the same way? Even in the previous time when America started preparing to annihilate the beta with G-bombs as soon as Alternative 5 was there, I would. Is that so? I mean, I don't remember anything about what happened after that, but it doesn't really matter because I won't let it happen again. Yuko and I are going to put a stop. Mankind's survival takes priority above all else. Very well. Then let us say we gain the ability to communicate with the beta. Would you allow them to rule the world in exchange for our survival? Yeah, right. All the beta do is destroy. They wouldn't be interested in ruling us. No, mankind needs to be victorious. Coexistence with the beta is not an option. Then let me allow you to use a different analogy. Let's say your squad, while engaging the enemy, experienced some internal strife and fell into distress. Dire straits? Then my unit in the same area came to help you and resolved it. If you do not accept it, your squad will die, but if you do, the problem will most likely be resolved and you win. However, accepting our aid would force your squad to be incorporated with mine. Let us further assume that this means you would all become my slaves. No, you're just screwing with me. How is this scenario different? Would you accept my offer? This isn't a small scale, though. Do you accept any conditions to ensure victory? Am I wrong? Wait, what do these examples have to do with any of this? I already know how this is going to end. We don't have time to be playing with stupid analogies. What's the matter? If such power struggles are stupid, then you should be able to answer without hesitation. Enough, Tsukiyomi. You made your point. Man. All we're doing is, with this kind of stuff, is just weighing ourselves down. If you're gonna remain here, what will the Royal Guard do? Well, what are you looking at me for? You think Takeru would leak the information? This man's a friend of the UN, maybe even the US. Oh, come on. After all that cryptic nonsense, you want to call the Americans by name now? You're a member of the Imperial Royal Guard. But while we may be Japanese citizens, the two of us just listen to the UN military. It would hardly be just to criticize Takeru for his loyalty. Then I'll limit what I divulge. That's fine. I'm no less of an outsider than Takeru is. Because the shogunate operates within the Imperial Palace itself, its personnel remains unharmed. As a result, the Royal Guard currently maintains control of the immediate vicinity. So she's getting her information straight from the shogunate. It's more accurate. The rebels must be dying to close this leak somehow. The ringleader's declaration that he does not want to bring harm upon the Highness seems to be true for the time being. Are civilians in the capital being harmed? Not as of yet, I see. If the coup forces harm the shogun or any civilians, they lose the moral high ground. Even a kid could figure that out. But as stated, the forces encircling the palace are growing in number. We can't afford to make any assumptions. Certainly not. The rebel forces are presumably seeking a world to create in Her Highness's favor, and that is the way, only way that we can prove their cause to be just. However, the deaths of some of her chief vassals have saddened her. I can't imagine what would that she would give in so soon. But the more the time that elapses, the more prepared to respond the Imperial Army becomes, and now even the American forces are poised to intervene. That's correct. It may seem that the capital could yet run red with blood. That would be disastrous.
帝都圏に散在する近衛軍駐屯地の各部隊は帝都城に集結中です。
And in preparation for that
目
possibility,
立った妨害はありません。
the Royal Guard garrison scattered in and around the capital are now gathering at the Imperial Palace. There have been no significant difficulties as of late. The Royal Guard exists solely to protect the Shogun, so it's not like rebels can just block out their entry and risk a skirmish breaking out. Still, I doubt they're happy about letting them just waltz right through.
私どものような独立警護部隊は将軍家ゆかりの方々をお守りする任務を賜っております。
The independent units like myself are still tasked with protecting the relatives, that's all.
分かった。そなたに感謝を。下がってよいぞ。
Very good, you have my gratitude then, that'll be all.
何かございましたらいつでもお呼びください。
If you need anything else, do not hesitate to summon me.
タケル、許すがよい。
Please do forgive her. She is only doing her duty. Hey, don't worry about it. I'm sure I do the same thing in the position.
そう言ってもらえると助かる。
I appreciate your understanding. From Tsukiyomi's perspective, I'm a dead man walking. She thinks I've got American sympathies. Given how close I am to Mayim now, yeah, of course she's gonna be suspicious. Let's get back to the hangar.
そうだな。
That we do. Alright. 544. Alright. We're going to go ahead and end it here for tonight. I'm sorry, I'm just getting really, really tired. We're going to go ahead and pick this up tomorrow as we continue on the coup arc. Hopefully we get deployed and get to see some action. Hope you guys have enjoyed and we learned all the secrets up about the whole Kasumi thing and a little bit about Unit 00 and the beta of what they're about and everything. Hope you guys have enjoyed tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for following and for all the subs tonight as well. Have a nice night, everyone.